Parts.
On the golf tee, it's Skechers World Champions Cup. Watch it live December 4th and 5th on ESPN and ESPN Plus, 12 to 4 p.m. It's PGA Champions Tour golfers from all over the world. Team USA versus Team Europe versus Team International. Watch it live December 4th and 5th on ESPN and ESPN Plus, 12 to 4 p.m. The competition will be tense, but feet will be comfy. Tune in to Skechers World Champions Cup. Final round of golf on Sunday, December 7th on ABC, 1 to 5 p.m.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco, on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Live from downtown San Francisco, this is 95.7 The Game.
Well, what is going on, everyone? Good morning. This is Warriors This Week, every Saturday 9 to noon on 95.7 The Game. As always, Evan Giddings, Dan Devone, here to talk about this week in Golden State Warriors basketball. And Dan, before we exchange pleasantries and bring in Steven Risotto, who's done a bang-up job.
Steven Risotto.
I mean, he is locked in at 9 a.m. I got to say this. Last week, I took a victory lap. Last week, I was feeling high. I was riding the state of the Warriors off a couple of Wemby wins, and I said they would go 3-1 this week. And damn it, I got egg in my face because
you were drunk.
That way,
the guy is drunk.
No, I wasn't. And you got to be careful with that too. We know that Dan doesn't like Kevin Harlan, so no, they did not go 3-1. In fact, I think I might have jinxed them. They went 1-3. What's up, man?
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, the San Antonio wins. We thought we turned a corner. But I think you and I both agreed at the time, this feels good, but there's still a sense of trepidation. Like, can we buy in? Is this something that is sustainable? And there was sort of this, it's a lot of Steph and not much else. And sure enough, the jury's still out. Although I liked what it is that you texted me last night can I repeat it on the air?
What did I text you last night?
You said, I'm liquored in a bar. It's 3 a.m. Can you pick? No. Last night you said, yeah, I think this team's mid. And I think when it's all said and done with, everybody wants to be either vying for an NBA championship or rebuilding, but some of us are just, we're sort of in between. And that might be the Warriors' MO this year.
I actually think I remember exactly when I texted you that. And that was when it was after one of the Caleb Love threes. So the Warriors, last night they lost to the Blazers, by the way, 127-123. I think it's probably their worst loss of the year, but, actually second to worst loss. The Indiana one probably is tops. But in the fourth quarter, Kamara hit a three with 10 minutes left. They go up 101-100, and then they don't give up the lead. But there was a couple moments in that game where it felt like there was actually, I remember when I texted you. So there was one possession with about 6 minutes left where Quentin Post has two back-to-back wide open threes. And it would have cut the lead. It wouldn't have given the lead, but it would have been like a 1-point game. And Post missed one from the corner, wide open. Offensive rebound, one of the few that the Warriors got. He gets the ball back, sidesteps Robert Williams, has an open three, bricks it. Other way, Love dives in the paint, throws an easy lob, Williams dunk. It's back to a 5-point game, and you're like, this team just can't do anything. Like this team does not dictate the terms of engagement with the majority of their opponents on a consistent basis. And that's when I think I texted you, like, this team might just be mid.
I think they are. It's a team that's now, they were always small, but they were always athletic. And they had Clay, and they had Iguodala, and they had all these boys, and obviously Steph leading the party. Now they're small and unathletic. And you kind of wonder, it might be the definition of mid. You're not big, you're small, but you're not necessarily quick and talented. So what is it that we're doing here? And what it is that you're doing is that you're just going to wait for this old iteration of the Golden State Warriors to slowly walk off to the sunset and then build this thing anew. You're sort of caught between a rock and a hard spot. But I don't want to overreact after the wins against San Antonio and then overreact after a surprising loss to the Portland Trail Blazers. I think somewhere in between lies the truth of the Golden State Warriors, and that being that, again, there's going to be games when they're well-rested where they're very, very good, and they're going to beat some really good teams. But again, is it sustainable? Can Jimmy Butler do it on a consistent basis? And I think he's answering that question for all of us. He can't. And the same with Steph to a certain degree. So it's a Warrior team that's going to look good when they have energy, when they have their legs. But for the most part, they're going to be a team that's going to be struggling simply because they're just too old.
Well, and I actually do think they kind of look this week like the team that was in San Antonio. The difference was against Orlando and Portland, Curry had 34 and 38 instead of 46 and 49. If he had scored 46 or 49 against Portland or against the Magic, I think they'd probably win both of those games. But he's got to be 2022 Curry for this team to go anywhere right now. And over the course of the 3 hours, I think there's a few things that I would look at and say we can be a little bit better here. But to your point about the athleticism, that's not something that's necessarily going to change unless you get, I think, a good version of Kaminga back, and we all know that that's a coin flip. But even their bigs, Dan, even their bigs are unathletic. Like, yes, they're small and unathletic, and they play a lot of guards, and I kind of understand why, because if Post doesn't hit shots, he can't really defend. And Klingon, oh my God, last night, actually, they made a bit of a run. I was kind of praying at the time, not actually, but when he rolled his ankle and went back to the locker room, I was like, all right, finally they can make a little bit of hay here because there's no 7-foot monster on the floor for them to just get swallowed up by. But if he's out there, if teams have a 7-footer like that, which, by the way, they are a bevy of in the West, this team just doesn't have the size to compete with that right now because I think a 29-year-old Al Horford would be able to help them, but a 39-year-old Al Horford, who, by the way, hurt his hamstring last night, and now he's day-to-day.
Don't mean to laugh. Go ahead.
Well, who could have seen that coming? A 39-year-old got hurt. But
he's too old.
He might be. But they just don't have enough real size. I mean, God love Trace Jackson Davis. He might be their best rebounder. And it's like, at that point, what are we talking about?
But whose fault is that?
I think it's on the front. Well, I'll say this. I do think it's on the front office because they were, I don't want to use the word arrogant, but
arrogant. No, you nailed it. I'll say it, but you go ahead.
The floor is yours.
No. I'm not one to interrupt.
Well, I
need to warm into the show. Look at Pasta a couple of times. I'm like on the mound. I got to look over and check the runner at first base. That'd be in Pasta.
Pasta, you got to pot your pot up, buddy.
Careful on the word arrogant.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pasta got undressed. By the way, so before we get into all the arrogant stuff, Steven Risotto, aka Pasta.
Do we want to go there?
Well, no. I just want to ask this question. So, if you call someone or something arrogant and they get wind of it, how long should you take to generally apologize for using such word?
Not 8 months.
So Pasta waited 8 months. To me, that kind of compounds the situation. You can't wait 8 months to apologize if you're going to
say that because I'm inexperienced.
A little bit, Pasta. I love you, man.
I think it's all contextualized. Arrogant isn't necessarily offensive. It all depends on how it was used, what's the framing of all of this, and do you need to apologize? But we don't want to get into the weeds, right?
Dan, you're the most humble person that I know. Evan, you're the most confident, humble person that I like. It's a good day today. We're not going to get into that.
I got you. Why did he just lie to both of us, though?
Hey, he's sucking up, man. He's got to do that until he gets the hammer.
Well, he learned yesterday sometimes you got to fall on the sword.
I haven't picked up the pieces yet.
Yeah, I know. It's okay, Pasta. We're here for you. We'll always go to bat for you.
Arrogance.
You know who I am.
That is the word of the day. But that's the Warriors when it comes to bigs. And you know this.
I do. And look, like watching the game last night, I have not thought about this person one time this entire season. Other people have, and that's fine. I've heard his name. And you brought him up last week. I think it was as a joke, but seriously, they probably could have used Kevon Looney last night.
Well, that's...
But to me, that's not going to make a difference. Like, I'm only thinking about him because what he used to bring, there is just simply nothing of right now.
Well, here's why they're arrogant. And this is why I can go there, and both of us can go there. Maybe I can go there a little bit more easily than you because I've been on this rant well before the game against Portland, going back to last year, and that is it's a small basketball team, and that's not how the NBA is played any longer. they just seem like somebody that's outdated, right? You know, somebody that's wearing fashion that rocked back in the early 2000s, and it's 2025. It's that person. It's like, hey, dude, you need to move with the times. And the Warriors are hanging on to basketball when they dominated in 2013 through 2019. And it's 2025. And guess what's happened over the last 3 to 5 years? The big has come back to the NBA. And the Warriors have not embraced that. Look at every damn team they play. They all have a big that the Warriors cannot match up with. From Wendell Carter Jr. to Klingon to who do they got tonight, tomorrow night? They got, you give me an NBA team.
Lauri Markkanen's on Monday.
Utah.
Well, they got Walker Kessler. He's out for the season.
He's out for the season. Okay, Utah, I'm glad you brought them up. I guarantee you there's a guy by the name of Filipowski that none of us know. None of us know Flip other than Duke fans. I guarantee you after that game you'll be doing a show like, God, I couldn't match up with Filipowski. Got all those putbacks. There's always a 7-footer that they cannot counter other than Draymond Green is going to exert all that energy at 6'6" or Al Horford.
But it's like, I think a few of those bigs that you just rattled off, specifically Filipowski, like they are pretty mid. Like those guys, like
not against the Warriors.
Actually, you know why the Jazz might be in trouble? You know who's the center on that team right now? Jusuf Nurkic. Draymond might get himself ejected on Monday. But the point is, I think Jusuf Nurkic is not a good player. Like he's pretty bad. There's a reason he's been on umpteen teams, and I just don't think he's very good. But against the Warriors, he might hurt you. Because they don't even have a mid-big. They just don't. Post is a fine player. I think he had a solid rookie season. You know, as a shooter, he does what they need him to. Horford is fine. But like all of these guys together just put so much pressure on, to your point, Draymond Green. And this is really where I get frustrated because we've been talking about this. Is their best center is Draymond Green. And on a good day, he's 6'7". And as much as he can neutralize a Wembanyama, he can go and battle with Jokic, and he's a great defensive player. But he needs someone to get a rebound. Like Draymond had 5 last night. The leading rebound of the Warriors last night was Jimmy Butler, and that's only because he had 6 offensive boards. Like last night highlighted how if you have a couple of wings who are not afraid to put their nose in the dirt, along with obviously a 7-footer, you can hammer the Warriors on the glass. The Blazers didn't outshoot the Dubs. They were worse from the field. They were worse from 3. They were worse at the 3-point line, all 3 in terms of percentage. But they had an extra 10 possessions.
Well, it's the worst combination because they're older, they can't stay in front of people. We always talk about point of attack defenders, and the Warriors are not good in that area. So what happens is that as a wing, as you just mentioned, a quick wing, whether it's Grant or whether it's Kamara, and they're able to beat their guy off the dribble, Draymond's got to help. Somebody's got to help defend. So what do? You just throw that lob up to Klingon, to Eric Williams, and it's candy from a baby. The Warriors' lack of size is on them. And here's where we get back to that word arrogance. The Warriors over the offseason, this isn't new. We knew they needed to go big and to get young. So you look at the market over the offseason, and there's Steve Kerr and Dunleavy. We got you in the room. How's this? We've got Valanciunas. No. He doesn't fit into our system. It's always system versus talent. He doesn't fit into our system. How about Miles Turner's a free agent? No. How about I brought you the name Mark Williams, who's having a good season this year with Phoenix, who's a surprising team, in large part because they got a big who can rim protect, and that's all you need from the Golden State Warriors right now. No. He doesn't fit into our system.
Well, he doesn't.
This is the Warriors you're talking about. We're synonymous with championships. And Steve Kerr then says, I'll tell you who's available. This is who we need to get. His name is Al Horford.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
But excuse me, Coach, he's 66 years old. It's Al Horford.
I do, but...
Al Horford, for crying out loud. He's synonymous with championships. He's cerebral. He's smart. It's Al Horford. But he's old. It doesn't matter. Bring him in. And this is where we're at. And why? Because that analogy was, I don't know where I went for the last 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm a wannabe actor. I got a good acting story for you. So That's the Warriors.
Pasta rack that.
And their arrogance for you is that they could have gone in another direction. And I'm just giving you this last offseason. If you wanted a big, there were bigs out there that could just counter. And I'm not talking about somebody that's your centerpiece that you're looking offense from. No, obviously your offense comes from where it comes from. That's Steph and company. But somebody who can just counter the Klingon, somebody who can just counter the Markkanen, somebody who's just a big who can just simply rim protect and then maybe get you some rebs on the other side. They don't have that guy. They haven't had that guy for years. And the reason why, it's because they don't fit into their quote-unquote system.
Well, they don't. But the thing is, this offseason, yes, they had their eye on one guy, and it was Al Horford. They also didn't have any money. Like, the other thing, too, is because of who makes all the money on this team, that's, like, those are their priorities, right? It's Steph Curry, who makes the max. It's Jimmy Butler, who makes the max. And then you have your two next highest players, one of which is hurt right now, and you're trying to use as a trade chip, I believe, come January. That's Jonathan Kaminga. And the other one's Draymond Green. They don't have a lot of money to spend. And that's where, like, I was just looking at Mark Williams. The Charlotte Hornets traded him for a first-round pick and a second-round pick. One of the reasons is he's on the last year of his deal, and Phoenix is probably going to re-sign him. Number one, the Warriors didn't have a first-round pick to give up this year because they traded it for Jimmy Butler. Number two, they don't appear like they have any interest in signing anybody beyond their big three, which is next season. The two guys that are under contract beyond that year, Buddy Hield and Moses Moody, I think Hield might be used as a salary filler sometime later this year. My point is, I don't think they know what direction they're going in as a franchise. They're all in on this small, old, talented, and experienced, but relatively speaking, we saw it again last night, unathletic group for the next year and a half, or maybe even just the next half a year, because if this keeps going the way it goes and they're 500 at the end of the season, I think they're going to have to pivot. But like Mark Williams, it's not just he doesn't fit into what they do or their system. I don't think he fits in. Like, I don't know what the plan is right now. Their plan has never been to acquire a true 7-footer outside of James Wiseman. And I don't know if because they missed on that, Dan, so badly to the point where he's not even in the league anymore, but it's like that's turned them off completely from trying to acquire what he represents. Not what he was, but what he represents, which is a 7-footer who can run, who can jump, and who can, more importantly, do battle with, to your point, all of these Western Conference bigs that every single night walk in here and probably just look down at the Warriors roster.
It's not only they missed on him because they took him at number 2, but they also missed on, you know who else was in that draft that was playing last night? How about Denny, last name Avdia?
Well, that was just a really good trade by the Blazers.
He was in that 2020 class.
He was. And actually, I think that was one of the guys. So I was talking to someone last night for the Warriors, and they were telling me that in that class, that was a guy that they were looking at if they had traded back. Because there was a report that they could have traded out of the second pick. I know Wendell Carter was another guy who also killed them against Orlando, who they were looking at too. But Avdia, that guy could play,
He's
man.
a beast. He's an absolute beast. Well, how about Valanciunas? I mean, Valanciunas went to Denver. Dario Saric.
Well, Sarge stinks.
Exactly. You don't think there's somebody on the Warriors roster that they could have dealt to Sacramento to get Valanciunas? Now, Valanciunas isn't the end-all, but he is somebody that you could stick in the middle of that paint that it can at least disrupt, counter a lot of those lob threats, could rim protect against some of these bigs. So I get it.
But like Valanciunas plays 15 minutes a game.
That's all you need.
No, it's not. They need a guy who can play like 25 or 30 minutes, it feels like, on some nights.
Well, they just need one. They just need somebody. And Valanciunas to go along with, give Draymond Green a spell, give Trace Jackson Davis, whoever's watching Klingon a spell, but to integrate someone like Valanciunas in a big body for those 15 to 18 minutes it's so vital. And it really sort of jumps off the page when you see what it is that happened not only last night, but throughout the entirety of the season, and will continue to happen until, they address that matter. Maybe that's what they deal Jonathan Kaminga for, but I don't know how many bigs are available.
I mean, obviously we reacted to games like last night because Did you know that Portland had a 50% offensive rebounding rate?
Wow.
That means every other shot they got a rebound. And I wasn't really paying attention to it. I mean, obviously you're seeing the number go up and up and up. But in the fourth quarter, there was one possession, maybe it was with 4 minutes left, where Portland took a shot, missed, and the Warriors got a rebound. And I just thought, I don't think I've seen a single possession in this quarter where Portland hasn't got the first rebound. And Portland's not a great shooting team, but that's how Houston wins. The reason why Houston is such a prolific offense right now, they got better players than the Blazers, but they just get second and third chance opportunities. And I think it's demoralizing for a defense. You could tell the Warriors were spent that whole game just because it's it's like you're playing against your dad. You can't get the basketball. And that's got to feel awful to know that you can play 20 seconds of great defense. I don't think they did for most of the night, but you could play good defense, and it still doesn't mean anything because they're going to get 2 points.
Well, that's the other point, is that using Valanciunas once again as an example, if he came to the Golden State Warriors and you're using him for those 15 to 17 minutes, it's giving Draymond a break. Draymond can still do it, but you have to use so much energy against the bigs like that of Klingon. By the way, speaking of bigs, your favorite big is returned. And here comes Memphis. Mark my words, Zach Edey, who is they list him at 7'4", some have him at 7'5".
I mean, he's pretty big.
He's a large human, man. So is Klingon. My God, those are big boys.
That guy's I guess he's bigger, but he might have as big of a head as Bruce Bochy.
Right.
Zach Edey is a big boy.
Why get personal here? There's no need to do that.
No, but you can see
Rise
it
above.
Yeah, but if he stood on the top of Twin Peaks, you'd be able to see it from here. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so I said rise above, and you go there.
Well,
More shots.
You said go higher. We're talking arrogance today.
You better be careful.
Yeah, but any team with a 7-footer probably feels like they got a good shot.
Well, they do. You talked about Houston. They got Houston coming up, right, this week?
Yeah.
Let's just talk about that Houston matchup. Jabari Smith, Alperen Şengün, Adams, not to mention Kevin Durant. What are the Warriors going to do?
You forgot Capella.
It's just...
they had 2 7-footers that they played double bigs with last year in the playoffs and, just out-muscled the Warriors, and then they went and got another one. They lost a series and said, you know what? We're going to double down. And they also doubled down on the fact they lost their starting point guard and said, you know what? Fine. We don't need one. Their starting lineup is 6'10". They're going to make the Warriors look like, just a middle school squad out there. Now, the Warriors, again... If Curry's great, they can win any game.
Sure.
But
you got to be shooting it well, and you got to exert. You can't win a rock fight. If you're going to win ugly, you can't mail in a game if you're the Warriors and say, we weren't firing on all cylinders, but we won that game. No. You've got to shoot it well. You got to shoot threes well. Jimmy Butler's got to have his legs. Whereas if you're big, you can win sloppy, especially if you have a low shooting percentage. You talked about how Houston got even bigger. Everybody does it. And that gets back to my point, how the Warriors don't address this over the offseason. Everybody in the league, in order to improve, wants to get bigs who can rim run and protect. OKC, to me, one of the reasons why OKC is as dominant as they are is because they made a concerted effort. They have Chet Holmgren, but what did they do? They went, we need Hartenstein. And Hartenstein is so vital to the success of that basketball team. But despite all of that, the Golden State Warriors, for whatever reason, are like, no, we want Al Horford. So he can join, the rest of this AARP club and another 6'9" guy.
You said I went low. Damn. By the way, there is a member of AARP we will discuss coming up in about 5 minutes because it was
the 75
today.
Golden State Warriors?
No. I mean, that was supposed to be the highlight of the night. You know what?
Yeah, what? Bring back George Johnson. I saw Clifford Ray.
Yeah,
bring him back.
Clifford Ray, by the way, I think he's... maybe I'll pull it up for you on the other side. I think he's one of 7 players in NBA history to have more, of the big boys.
Yeah.
To have more rebounds than points. They could have used a Clifford Ray last night.
I read an article about him back in the day that he kept a Christmas tree in his house year-round. Year-round. Which I thought was a good idea. He said, it just makes you feel good. Why feel good just a couple of weeks or a month out of the year? feel good, have that sort of joy and that Christmas spirit year round.
Well, you should have told me. We interviewed him on Thursday.
Oh.
Would have loved to talk to him about his Christmas tree.
Wow.
The guy's also a children's book author. He's also a part of, along with, I think it was Charles Dudley, they're making this 1975, a documentary about the 1975 team, and it's premiering at the Sundance Film Festival this year.
Really?
Yeah, so it's supposed to be legit. Like, the way that Clifford Ray and Rick Barry were describing it Thursday and Friday was like, what was it, the 61 Jets, the Joe Namath Jets?
Late 60s, I want to say.
Okay, so but like that kind of upset, along with, the 07 Giants beating the Patriots. Yeah. But if those teams, the Jets and the Giants, had also been expected to be 2-win football teams at the beginning of the year. So it seems pretty unbelievable.
I love when Rick Barry talks about that team, because Rick Barry talks in superlatives. It's the greatest upset in the history of sports, bar none. And he might be right. I think I've told you this story, that they were expected to win just a handful of games.
Yeah.
Right? They weren't even supposed to go to the playoffs. It was don't even call it a rebuild. So that year they played what was then the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum Arena. The Oakland Alameda County Coliseum Arena, which was the home of the Golden State Warriors. During the fall of that year, they had, when the NBA Finals were going off, they booked, I'm talking about the arena,
I know.
The Ice Capades. I'm talking about Snoopy and Lucy in costumes on the ice.
I used to love it.
And so the Golden State Warriors could not even play on their home floor for a Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Game 4.
Yeah.
They had to do it at the Cow Palace. And the reason why is because the Ice Capades were booked at their home gymnasium.
And I think it was Dudley that said that they were a day away from the Cow Palace being booked. So they would have had to play
some monster truck show?
Something like that. But they would have had to play near the Civic Center in a gym that only held 5,000 for a closeout game of the NBA Finals. Like that. No, to your point, that's how little everyone in the Bay Area believed in that team.
Well, we got to talk a little bit more about Rick Barry and what he said on the broadcast last night.
Oh, actually, I didn't get to. Okay, I do want to hear that. I didn't get to hear him because I was at the game last night, and it was a doozy. 127-123, Warriors lose to the Blazers. They get out-rebounded by 20. Also, some interesting Curry sound, I thought, after the game as well. But we can talk about all that and more.
Pasta?
Dan's favorite segment of the show when we return on Warriors This Week on 95.7 The Game.
This is the sound of Claire cooking dinner at home. And that's the sound of a fraud alert from Wells Fargo, flagging a charge for a pricey restaurant in Paris. Considering Claire isn't in Paris right now, that seemed odd to the bank and to Claire. 2 taps later, Claire says nope to the charge, and Wells Fargo is on the case. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Ante Hill for my friends at Ceremony Ford, and the year-end sales event is on now. This is the time to score 0% APR financing for 60 months with $0 down and 0 payments for 90 days on some of Ford's hottest models, including the F-150, Explorer, Escape, Super Duty Regular and Super Cab, Transit Van, Lightning, and the all-electric Mustang Mach-E. Look, I absolutely love my Explorer. It's perfect for my family, packed with cutting-edge tech and style to stand out wherever you go. And with deals like these, you won't want to miss this chance to grab your dream Ford. Remember, that's 0% APR for 60 months, $0 down, and no payments for 90 days. You can save big on top models right now, but hurry, these year-end deal savings end January 5th, so swing by Ceremony Ford in Colma, just off Ceremony Boulevard, or check out their incredible inventory right now at ceremonyford.com. Ceremony Ford, the Bay Area's go-to spot for unbeatable year-end deals, and don't forget to tell them that Bonte sent you.
Come into Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill and see an amazing selection of Sub-Zero, Wolf, and Cove appliances live and on display in one of the largest living kitchens in the country. And save with full suite savings event. With qualifying purchase, get 3 additional years of protection or qualify for a $1,000 rebate. For the largest selection of Sub-Zero, Wolf, and Cove appliances, visit the Living Kitchen at Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill or at friedmansappliance.com.
Hi, I'm Brian Bakhtiari, Executive Manager of Stevens Creek Subaru. The holiday season is a time of giving, and for the 17th year in a row, Stevens Creek Subaru wants to give back. From now until January 2nd, get a great vehicle and support a great cause. Because with every new Subaru purchased or leased, Subaru and Stevens Creek Subaru are donating a minimum of $325 to charity during the 2025 Subaru Share the Love event, happening now at Stevens Creek Subaru. And if that's not enough, buy or lease any new Subaru from Stevens Creek Subaru until December 31st and receive 2 Sierra at Tahoe season passes from Stevens Creek Subaru. So you get a great deal on a new Subaru, get 2 free season passes to Sierra at Tahoe, and help some great charities at the same time. It's a win-win-win at Stevens Creek Subaru. Located on Stevens Creek Boulevard near Santana Row and Valley Fair, or online at StevensCreekSubaru.com. StevensCreekSubaru.com. And remember, buckle up and drive safely.
Almost every 8 minutes. That's how often Uber received a report of sexual assault or sexual misconduct. And despite over 400,000 reports, Uber turned a blind eye. Instead of protecting women, Uber downplayed the problem, delayed safety measures, and prioritized profit over passenger safety. Now, Uber wants to stop Californians from holding them accountable in court. Every 8 minutes, Uber tries to silence victims. Paid for by Habas and Associates.
Black Friday weekend is here. Once a year, you get the lowest prices on the top-rated brands of TV. Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs at stupid prices. You don't have to buy a no-name doorbuster TV with poor picture when you can get a good one for a few dollars more. Where's the best place to shop for these top brands? At Video Only, the only place where you can get better than Black Friday deals on Samsung, LG, and Sony. Better than clubs, better than online. Before you buy, check out the deals at Video Only, because if you don't, you'll be sorry.
Oh, hey, welcome to gift wrapping. Whoa, Zoe Saldana.
Hey, can you wrap these, please?
Wow, iPhone 17s. You splurged.
At T-Mobile, you can get 4 iPhone 17s on them. The new center stage front camera is amazing for group selfies. It's the perfect gift for everyone.
I'm the worst. I only got my mom a robe.
Well, it's better than socks.
So, I have to trade in my old phone, right?
No, at T-Mobile, there's no trade-ins needed when you switch. Keep your old phone or give it as a gift.
Incredible.
In fact, wrap up my old phone too for my Aunt Rosa. Forget that. Aunt Liz will be jealous.
Sounds like my family drama.
Oh, I got it. I'll give it to my abuela. I'll take reindeer paper with, hey, where are you going?
To T-Mobile! The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Get 4 iPhone 17s on us, no trade-in needed when you switch. Plus 4 lines for just $25 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 4 eligible port-ins on essentials for well-qualified customers. Auto pay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended. Balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 256 gigabytes, $830 required. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Red and Gold Game Day starts at Laughing Monk Brewing. Park for free. Enjoy amazing food, ice-cold beer, and every game on TV. Catch 95.7 The Game's pregame show. Then hop on the free shuttle straight to the stadium. Sign up now at 957thegame.com.
Curry dribble drive to Peyton, touch pass to Horford, topside triple, got it.
Good. Nice pass by GP2.
Another good young man that I remember coming into the league, Horford.
Horford, yeah.
Yeah, he just had a tremendous career.
Fantastic career. Still looks like he's 28.
Oh, yeah. That's what happens when you take care of yourself.
Now back to Warriors This Week on 95.7 The Game.
So that's Clifford Ray.
Oh, that's Clifford Ray.
Legend, obviously. 1975 Warriors champion, second most important player on that team behind Rick Barry. Rick Barry even said he was the most important player because of what he did off the floor. However, Al Horford does not look like a young man.
You know, again, I just want to reiterate, I was listening to the broadcast, driving, where was I going? I was driving someplace in San Francisco.
You're in your spaceship.
And I was listening to the broadcast. They are so easy to listen to. That's the best. It's just an easy listen. Again, I always talk about Tim Roy, and he's not, he doesn't have a signature line. He's not going to be revered, I don't think, like Kruk and Kite. But to me, it's just about, he's pleasant, he's informative. And Tolbert just gets in and gets out. It's an easy listen. But speaking.
That's my Tolbert.
That's awesome. That's awesome. But I do, speaking of, do you want to get into Rick Barry?
There's a lot of things I want to get into.
Okay. What's on the agenda? What's on the rundown? I want to make sure that
I usually don't have a rundown. It's kind of just top of mind, and then I spew. But
I was being facetious.
No. So
if you were to have a rundown, I would crumple it up and throw it right back at you, throw you a slider.
Well, this is how you know that I don't have a rundown, because usually I try and do, what all, professional radio hosts do, and like tease something going into the next segment. And then I wait like 3 hours before I actually get to what I tease because I just forget. So
I remember I did a show with Dibs or somebody during the week, and they called me up from the bullpen. They called me up from, AA Tennessee, Chattanooga. And I get my opportunity here in the majors, and like I walk into the studio, and I forgot who I was doing the show with, and they had like a binder full of information, like all of this, like a stack of like notes and footnotes and graphs and all of this data. And I just kind of walked in with, holes in my pockets. Like, okay, let's talk for 4 hours.
Low Neil?
No, Lowe's just like me.
Yeah, I know. That's why you guys had fun.
Yeah.
Because you just...
Well, one of us has got to drive. That's the way it works with you, because somebody's got to know what the hell we're talking about.
Well, yeah, but my personal favorite shows are when you show up, whenever you show up, and then you say, hey, you mind if I drive today? And I go, yeah, of course. It's like I don't know what side of the bed you wake up on and go, yeah, I think I want to drive today.
No, that's infrequent. Once in a while.
Give me the wheel.
Once in a while, I feel as though I just need to,
Well, one time I got here, and it was during the holidays last year, and Dan Devone was here with Lorenzo Neal hosting, and they walked in together, and they both found out at the same time Steve Kerr's coming on today. Yeah. So Low Neal, who I don't know if he was keeping up with the Warriors at the time, was being coached by our very own Mark Grandy about the current state of the Golden State Warriors.
Well, Lowe does ask me on Sundays. We don't have it tomorrow because the Niners, play on Monday. But usually for the kickoff show, he'll come in and be like, yeah, how's the Warriors doing? And my response is, still haven't turned a corner yet. It's like I think they're a good team, but each and every week they kind of remind me that maybe they're not as good as I thought they were.
Well, how good did you think they were?
I think they're good enough to make the playoffs. They're not like they don't look like a playoff team right now.
Well, they look like a play-in team, which is where I had them the whole time.
The play-in? Well, yeah, but they were a play-in team last year. Well, they look worse than they were last year. They were a 7 seed and won 48 games. They look worse than that right now. That's my point. So, I guess play-in is a 7 seed. You get the home game. You get 2 cracks at it.
They won't get that.
They look like a 9 or 10 seed right now.
Well, I guess that would mean somebody like Utah and Memphis would have to make a move. If I was to let me look at the standings.
Well, you love Memphis, and I can't figure it out.
Memphis is going to make a move. I don't love them, but they're going to make a move.
Well, they got to build around my guy, Cedric Howard, the Willamette Bearcat. If they build around him, they'll be fine.
Willamette.
Yeah. So wait,
it's Willamette, by the way.
No, it's not.
They have good wine.
By the way,
and the Okanagan Valley out in Vancouver are 2 of the most underrated in terms of wine out here on the West Coast, because everybody thinks Napa Valley, and there's places out on the East Coast. But Okanagan Valley out in Vancouver and the Willamette.
Well, Okanagan is still pretty under the radar, but Willamette is the Willamette Valley vineyards are pretty popular now. I think because they were heightened by a lot of athletes. Like Greg Popovich owns a vineyard out there. I think Kevin Love has a vineyard out there. CJ McCollum owns a lot of wine stuff. So a lot of athletes have invested in the Willamette Valley. That's kind of increased its notoriety. But
here's that word of the day again: arrogance with Napa Valley. Though I think there's a level of arrogance when it comes to Napa, as opposed to the Willamette.
Well, I'm a bigger fan of Mendocino County, to be honest.
Well, yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
What?
Well, because if the wine isn't hitting, you can just go roll a fat one. Now that you want to put that one away, we can reuse that.
You just go roll a fat one. You want to talk about Rick Barry?
Well, he was on the broadcast, so Rick Barry is still one of the best sound bites. I don't know how old he is.
He's 81. He doesn't sound like it.
He can still bring it. And he's just like, he does not talk. There's no level of hesitancy in what it is that he says. It's the Bible. It's the truth. It's the gospel, according to Rick Barry. We were the most underrated team in the history of sports. And then Fitz, I had League Pass on last night, and Takatumachi happened to say...
Simmer down.
Happened to say, what's his first name?
Kalena.
Kalena happened to say... Here's two places you do not want to go with Rick Barry. Do not say anything about that 75 team that could be misinterpreted as them not being very good. And the second is, don't ever in any way hint or disparage the underhanded free throw shooting style that Rick Barry obviously implemented in becoming one of the greatest to ever do it from the charity stripe. And so Rick Barry taught George Johnson, who happened to be at the ceremonies last night, who was a 40% free throw shooter, taught him to shoot underhanded. And in that 1 year, he went from 40% to 80%. So Kalena happened to say, and I feel bad for Kalena, but this is so Rick Barry. And we were talking about Lowe not being very in touch with the Warriors. Well, Rick maybe is not very in touch with the Kalena or his resume. And Kalena's like, yeah, I tried that underhanded free throw shooting style, and it didn't necessarily work for me. And then he was going on to say, but it's amazing what it is that you. He was complimenting Rick Barry. Rick Barry immediately cut him off and said, that's because, did you know what I'm talking about?
Well,
that's because you're not, he says, you're not an athlete. You didn't play. You didn't play. You don't know. I'm paraphrasing here.
Yeah.
And both Fitz and Kalena were laughing. And Fitz is like, he was in the league. He's like, no, you don't know what you're doing. You didn't play. And it was so Rick Barry.
I think Kalena was like a honorable mention All-American at Kentucky. He was a good player. And then, of course, he played for like 7 years until his knees gave out. That's so
it was
funny.
so Rick Barry. And so they
He never played.
He
never played for the Warriors, Rick.
I want to challenge Rick Barry to a free throw shooting contest. Do you think he can still do it? I guarantee if Rick Barry's listening right now,
he'd tell you he could.
Yeah, I guarantee you Rick Barry right now says, if you give me a month to practice, Dan Devone, I will kick your butt. I will make 10 out of 10. And I would like to take him on.
Stick it up our ass.
Yeah, well man, that's
Jerry
becoming
Jones.
Pasta's new go-to.
Pasta's quietly very sophomoric, but he's on top of the world today because, all right, I'm going to just say this.
Apparently there's a surprise coming up. Speaking of teases.
Oh, yeah, 11 o'clock. Pasta's got a secret guest for us. He won't tell us anything about it.
All right.
I don't know what it is. I don't know who it is, but he said that we have something coming up at 11 o'clock.
Is Mitch in studio?
Big P producing. We flew Mitch out first class.
I thought it would be Jan, but it is what it is. By the way, 888-957-957. He realized I haven't given out the number so far today. Don't mention load management to Rick Barry. That's from the 510. You're damn right. Although, so I'll say this. A lot of the older guys who played, 43 minutes a game, 82 games a year, I have an immense amount of respect for. That's probably also why their careers were done by the time they're 35.
Well, that and they didn't take care of themselves.
Well, there wasn't modern medicine. Probably like the dieting back then.
Exactly.
The travel schedules. You want to talk about like a bad schedule. I mean, these guys used to play 4 games in 5 nights. It's unbelievable. So, of course, that's also why they were able to practice, which we believe is so important for the Warriors right now. Like, they could use it.
I do want to get into load management. Maybe we can do it now, if it's a segue. Unless you have something else in the rundown concerning the Golden State Warriors.
No, there was... Oh, well, there was something about Rick Barry. Oh, he told a really cool story, actually, about Al Attles on Friday. And for those who want to listen to the full interview, I think it's up on our podcast page, 95.7 The Game. You can also use the Odyssey app. But they were talking about the championship run. And I think a lot of people, while they remember the underdog story and them sweeping the Bullets after they were supposed to be swept, the series before against the Chicago Bulls, who used to be in the West, went to Game 7. And Rick Barry, he offered up this information, like as you could call him arrogant if you want. I don't think that's necessarily inappropriate, but he's a truth teller. He'll tell you honestly whether he was good, bad, otherwise. He said straight up he stunk in Game 7. And so much so that he got benched in the third quarter by Al Attles. And that's not something that typically a head coach will do, especially one that at the time didn't have a championship, was a good player, but was relatively young in his coaching career.
Player-coach at one point.
Exactly. So he benched Rick Barry in the third quarter and went back to him late in the fourth because he had to, and Rick made a couple shots. But I went and looked at his game. He scored like 23 points on 24 shots. Like, he admittedly self-offered the information that he was awful in Game 7 and basically gave the credit to his teammates, which I don't know how many times people hear Rick Barry do that. But I thought it was really refreshing to hear a superstar talk about a game that they stunk, because usually it's all, well, he averaged 30 points in the finals and he was, I think he's the only player to lead NCAA, ABA, and NBA in scoring per game. But you're learning all of these things about how amazing he was. You never really hear about the lows.
He was an ornery, prickly, difficult to get along with player at times. And I don't know if he'll admit as much. Even as a dad, I used to, Brent Berry and I, here we go. We were buddies back in the day. And Brent used to say, I used to have him on my show. And he's like, I haven't talked to my pops in 15 years. I'm like, really? Why is that? Now they've reunited and they're close. But there was, I don't mean to go there in the personal life.
Doesn't he call him like the Hall of Famer?
Does he? I don't know.
I don't think he calls him dad.
But anyways, I mean, that was Rick Barry. Rick Barry is just, I think he's a beautiful human being. There's few people that just tell you what's on their mind. Everybody else has just got to play the game and feed the beast, not him. But speaking of Game 7, okay, so 75, they win the title, right?
Yeah.
The following year, 76, they're now favorites. Rick Barry, Phil Smith, Wilkes. You mean now they're a year older. They go to a Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals with the Phoenix Suns. Rick Barry gets into a fight with Ricky Sobers.
That was the year after, right?
The year after they win the title.
76, yeah.
Yeah, so they win the title in 75. The following year, they get into a fight. Rick Barry gets into a fight with Ricky Sobers. If you look at the videotape, you can find it on YouTube. Nobody on the Golden State Warriors defends him. He's there taking on the Phoenix Suns. Like, they're throwing blows. And back in the day, you don't get kicked out of a game. You could throw blows. It's all right. Shake hands, come out, and we'll start the second half. This is just before the end of the half. He and Ricky, it started with Ricky Sobers, but then there's like 5 Phoenix Suns that jump on Rick Barry. And I don't know whether it was because a lot of the teammates didn't like Rick Barry, whatever the reason is, nobody rushed to his defense. So in the second half, at halftime, he's completely quiet. In the second half, and it's Rick Barry, he's their version of Steph Curry. He does not shoot the basketball.
You went Kobe?
He does not shoot the basketball. And he goes 3.5 quarters where he's just deferring. He's like, you don't want to help me? All right. Do it on your own. We're talking Game 7 against the Phoenix Suns. They get down double digits, and then Rick Barry tries to turn it on. Then he just goes nuts, and he starts canning jump shots, and he's being Rick Barry, but it was too little too late. And he thought he could flip a switch, teach them being his teammates a lesson, and have his team go back to the NBA Finals. But the lead was unsurmountable, and he could not dig his team out of a hole. And the Phoenix Suns, in a surprise, beat the Golden State Warriors, in large part to the fact that Rick Barry climbed into this hole and refused to shoot the basketball in the second half.
That's unreal. I mean, literally that's...
But that's Rick Barry.
Well, I guess you could say Kobe Bryant did the Rick Barry. I mean, that's what he did in the 2006 playoffs, where he refused to shoot. He's like, you guys think I'm shooting too much? Fine, I won't shoot at all. And I'm going to cost you guys a playoff series. I think that's when the Suns came back from down 3-1. But, it's funny, like, a lot of the older players, I'll just say older generation, like, one of the things that I miss about talking to some of, my old family members who have passed on is, I think someone like Rick Barry, a lot of people might look at his, legacy or the way he carries himself and say, he's complicated. Not really. Like I think guys from his generation, I can't speak for all of them, but it kind of reminds me of my great uncle. Like, he's very simple. He tells you exactly what he thinks, and where he stands on something. And you may not like it, which is why the complicated term gets passed down, because anytime we can't, I would say describe something, or anytime we can't explain the actions of an individual, we call them complicated. But it's very simple. And I think Rick Barry, every time I've heard him talk, everything I've read about him, is very cut and dry. And there's actually a couple pieces of sound that relate to the Warriors now that I do want to get to, because I know you love sound, Dan. But that is a fascinating story.
He's one of the most genuine people. I saw him at a Super Bowl. And apparently, I wasn't in the market, but he was in the media here in San Francisco, apparently. He was doing sports talk radio. And they did something with my press pass. My producer's like, you got to go get your press pass for the Super Bowl. Something's amiss here. And I'm like, seriously? So I had to go wait in this line with other media members. And I'm in this long line. This is in San Diego for a Super Bowl. And I turn right behind me, and guess who's standing behind me? And it's Rick Barry. Nobody's coming up to him. He's just standing there like every other schmo waiting for a press pass. And I said, Rick. And I introduced myself. I said, I'm from San Francisco. I haven't been there in a while. And we launched into this conversation about basketball, and he would not shut up. It was fascinating, though. And I still to this day remember him telling me the dunk shot's the worst thing that's happened to basketball. I mean, he was so outspoken about the state of basketball at the time. And he didn't hold back. And he didn't know me, but he's somebody that is, I find him fascinating. I find him sort of a dinosaur, because people aren't like that anymore. We're so guarded, right? Nobody's that open. Nobody tells you how they feel. Everybody's afraid that this is going to go viral or whatever the backlash might be. Guys like that are gems, man. And I know he rubbed some people the wrong way.
Well, I also think, too, that he's a guy, like he didn't grow up in a time where there were, I don't want to say ramifications, but there weren't consequences the way there are now as far as, people taking a quote, misconstruing it, plastering it. Yeah, you like in the paper, in the media, sure. But that didn't matter to them. Like it just didn't. Like there was no internet. So having something out there forever was not going to come back to haunt you the way that it used to. And I think it allowed you to be, maybe sometimes to a fault, honest. And there was one time that I did meet Rick Barry. He's actually at a couple years ago, they had a media pickleball tournament. And he is a great pickleball player. So he's 81. At the time, I guess he would have been 79. But that's what he does now. He plays pickleball. And we didn't get to play against him, but whoever won among the media teams got to play Rick Barry and his partner, because that's how good they were. They got a bye. Like they just got to sweep into the finals. And so he's playing against this other media team, and they're pretty good. It was the first time I'd ever played pickleball. Didn't understand the rules, kind of put it together. I played with Whitley, who runs our socials. We'd never played before, so we won a couple points, got waxed, we're out. We're just sitting there watching Rick Barry do his thing, and he didn't say a word, but him and his teammate just cleaned the clocks of these significantly younger, I don't know if they were in radio or TV or what, but he walks up to him after the game and just starts talking pickleball with them about what they could have done better, how the game went, certain points that were crucial. And I'm just thinking, is this what it was like to be an opponent of his, or to be a teammate of his? He's just so blunt. And he wasn't an ass, but he was just blunt about, you guys really lost it on the 8th point there. I was like, we're talking pickleball here. And I didn't understand anything about the game, but it was kind of a little bit of a glimpse into Rick
He
Barry.
used to come on our show. I was doing a show with Shamari Block, shout out, and he used to jump on once in a while. And I remember one time Shamari was going off on something, as he has a tendency to do.
The block was hot.
And then Rick Barry's like, no, you're wrong. And then he would just go into his spiel. But it's so refreshing for someone to actually speak their mind. There was a shot of him last night at the game. It was late in the 4th quarter, and they showed Rick Barry in the stands, and he looked so disinterested. It was like, I don't mean to go here, but it was like, you know what? I'm usually in bed about an hour ago, man. He just looked like, oh, God, will you please end this thing so I can go home?
Well, the Blazers did. I'm sure he's glad it didn't go to overtime. 888-957-9570 is the number. This is Warriors This Week with Evan Giddings and Dan Devone. Pasta, this is Scott in Berkeley. All right, let's go to Scott, who's in Berkeley. Scotty, good morning, man. What's up?
How you doing, gentlemen?
Fantastic.
Here's an interesting fact about the 75 run. The Warriors, in both the Western Conference Final and the Final, those were played 1-2-2-1-1 format. There was just all kinds of scheduling issues the Warriors had that year. And it was just, it was necessary. And, of course, you think about the time, it's like, can you imagine nowadays, somehow them having to adjust the playoffs so that you're playing that 7-game schedule? And, with Rick was hyper-competitive. That's the only way I've ever described him. I mean, he was like the first guy to ever, as a player, take on an analyst role. He did that 74 in the playoffs for CBS. And there was a huge stink about that. A lot of guys weren't happy about that. But that was who Rick was in a way. He, you could criticize him and say he was a second guesser in some ways, but that's who he always was. As for this week, I have hated the Orlando Miami back-to-back for years, because that was the back-to-back that really broke out the when San Antonio had to do that in 2012, and Pop sent Timmy, Manu, and Tony back to San Antonio. That's just a rough logistical back-to-back. It's a horrifying back-to-back. That's all I got today. I'll talk to you guys next week.
Thanks, Scotty. Well, probably should have sent Curry, Draymond, and Jimmy back to the Bay.
We should talk about that back-to-back because, and I do want to get into a discussion, maybe we can do it after the break, about load management and where the NBA is at right now, where 50% of the stars are all hurt. So I get it. But the league has to do something about this. Steph Curry has not played in Miami in 2 years. He comes once a year. Miami's one of the bigger markets. And again, it just gets back down. And I know the age-old, you buy a ticket to see one guy play, and you take your kids, and then just before the game, you realize he's not going to play. It's happened 2 years in a row in Miami. This has to stop. I don't know. I get it. I understand load management, but the NBA has a problem.
It has a problem, but I don't think there's a solution. I mean, this is the issue, and we could talk about it on the other side. I also see Austin and San Jose. I want to get to your call. Has got something to offer on Rick Barry, and I'm sure always has interesting thoughts to offer on the Warriors. But 888-957-9570 is the number. We can get into load management next. How about that? I also
a tease.
I got some sound for you, Dan.
Oh man.
Yay!
Evan Giddings, Dan Devone, Warriors this week.
I'll be in the kitchen.
We're back after this.
You can just go roll a fat one.
Considering starting your weight loss journey with GLP-1 medication? Don't trust just anyone with this decision. Jumpstart MD is your local trusted provider with 13 Bay Area clinics and expert care available online or in person. Jumpstart MD specializes in safe, effective weight loss with personalized clinical support. Trust the experts. Call 855-JUMPSTART or visit jumpstartmd.com. Mention radio and start for only $99 this season.
Hey, it's your boy Guru. Every time we put a rat on the table during our show, it's brought to you by Atco Pest Control. Atco Pest Control is a family-owned local business proud to provide pest control in the Bay Area for over 35 years. Atco uses natural methods to give you a peace of mind and keep your family out of harm's way. Quality pest control doesn't have to empty your savings either. Don't wait. Go to atcopestcontrol.com for all your pest control needs. They got you covered.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, I'm Brian Bakhtiari, Executive Manager of Stevens Creek Subaru. The holiday season is a time of giving, and for the 17th year in a row, Stevens Creek Subaru wants to give back. From now until January 2nd, get a great vehicle and support a great cause. Because with every new Subaru purchased or leased, Subaru and Stevens Creek Subaru are donating a minimum of $325 to charity during the 2025 Subaru Share the Love event, happening now at Stevens Creek Subaru. And if that's not enough, buy or lease any new Subaru from Stevens Creek Subaru until December 31st and receive 2 Sierra at Tahoe season passes from Stevens Creek Subaru. So you get a great deal on a new Subaru, get 2 free season passes to Sierra at Tahoe, and help some great charities at the same time. It's a win-win-win at Stevens Creek Subaru. Located on Stevens Creek Boulevard near Santana Row and Valley Fair, or online at StevensCreekSubaru.com. StevensCreekSubaru.com. And remember, buckle up and drive safely.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Comcast Business is celebrating the holidays by giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed internet package. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 12, a new laptop for the office holiday hero. Or possibility number 108, smart speakers to deck those hallways. Or possibility number 192, new equipment for the new year. Or possibility number 555, Bluetooth holiday lights for office decor. Switch to Comcast Business, designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect, plus advanced cybersecurity, and now get the $1,000 holiday bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 12/14/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Requires qualifying gig package. Other restrictions apply.
Want to hear something super? Merit America wants to get you on a path to a super new, high-paying career with free training and coaching. And it starts by working at events leading up to the super big game. Go to meritamerica.org/super and see how you can sign up for super career training in HR, logistics, data analysis, and much more for free. But time is running out. Apply by November 24th. Don't miss this super opportunity. So go to meritamerica.org/super fast.
This holiday season, Target has your back with irresistibly cool gifts for everyone on your list. For the trendsetter, start with affordable beauty kits and gift sets. Need something the whole fam will love? Grab snuggly matching fits in every size and style. And for the thrill seekers, don't forget the hottest toys and tech of the season. Target's got you covered with the best deals for endless fun. Shop in store or online. And step into the holidays with Target. Restrictions apply.
Get ready for the return of the legendary rock group Motley Crue when they come to the Bay Area September 24th at Shoreline Amphitheater with Tesla and Extreme. For more info and a chance to score a pair of tickets, courtesy of Live Nation, enter our contest online at 957thegame.com.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done. With precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Oh no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where did I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC. You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union.
Ho! Ho!
You gotta turn the mic on.
Spread that news, Pasta.
Now back to Warriors This Week on 95.7 The Game.
No,
You can just
speaking
go
of
roll
spread
a fat
news.
one.
What was that
You
one?
can just go roll a fat one.
A little bit later, Pasta. Don't tempt me. I got a PSA. Since we're spreading news, I got a PSA.
Are we staying with the word of the day?
I don't know. Let me get this out. Anybody who messes with Steven Risotto, anybody who goes after Pasta, goes after us.
Goes
all
through
right?
me.
We are a team. We are a three-man weave. We are a trifecta. We are the big three. Anybody who goes at Pasta goes at the rest of us.
Who went at you, Pasta? Who went at you? I got him.
We are a future threesome that will go get tequila tasting. I don't know where I'm going with that.
I'd be stay away from the threesome word. Like we're tight, but we're not. I don't know about the threesomes. I'm not including you two.
Well, we recently lost one. Happy belated birthday to Zach Green, by the way.
Oh my God,
Caddy Zach.
Caddy Zach.
If he's
How the hell
listening
is
somewhere.
He's just in the corner crying these days, isn't he?
Caddy Zach turned 24.
Poor
God
Caddy Zach,
damn.
man. He had the time of his life here, and then what'd they do to that poor guy? It stuck him in the front lines.
Took him out back.
He's in Hawaii right now, by the way.
All right.
Yeah, I don't feel too bad for him. All right, Dan, we've been talking a lot about arrogance today.
That's the word of the day.
I think so.
Do you
know who I am?
Do you remember Pee Wee's Playhouse? That predates you guys. We used to have a word of the day.
Pee Wee Herman?
Yeah.
Oh.
And anyways, that's our word of the day. Arrogance. Go ahead.
The arrogance of the Golden State Warriors. The arrogance, well, you could say of Rick Barry, too, although it tended to work for him. The arrogance of the Warriors. To believe that this team, constructed with elder stars, inexperienced youngsters, but I think most importantly, which is what we saw last night, saw a little bit on the little Florida two-step, just a lack of size. The arrogance to believe that last year's group was going to be able to conjure up enough. Now, I think that this team can still make the postseason, maybe even win a series. But it's becoming increasingly clear to me, Dan, that what they found last year was magic in a bottle. Like, I don't know how, and maybe it's because they matched up against a Houston team that was younger than them, less experienced, didn't have that extra 7-footer that they do now in Capella, but this team has to get bigger. I don't know if it's a true center. I don't know if it's just a wing. I don't know if it's multiple pieces. They have to get bigger.
Well, the arrogance is because of how they addressed the need for a big this offseason. Like, the arrogance is, it's not bringing about Steph and Draymond and Jimmy Butler. Even though I disagree with that, I can swallow that pill. They're institutional, foundational pieces of the Golden State Warriors. But the arrogance is, okay, we need a big. We've needed a big for a while. I've told you how the NBA has moved on since 2016, 2017, and the Warriors are still playing basketball in that era, and it's 2025. And for whatever reason, they are not embracing the way the game's being played today, and the way the game's being played today, the big has returned. Take a look around, Golden State Warrior fans. And the arrogance is, okay, we know we need a big, but let's get Al Horford. Like, to me, that system over talent. I'm not even going to entertain Mark Williams. Forget about Valanciunas. Yeah, Miles Turner's a free agent. Maybe we can't afford him. We can afford him. Forget about any of that. We need somebody who fits into this system. We're the Warriors, for crying out loud, at the end of the day. They do it. We're looking for cerebral, smart players. Somebody that Steph can sign off with. This is the Warriors. Give me Al Horford. But Steve, he's 65 years old. Doesn't matter. That's the arrogance that I think is biting him in the butt right now, because they need young, fresh legs and a guy who's over 6'9", and somebody who's on the right side of 35 years of age.
Well, speaking of entertaining, I think we lost Pasta. He's got an audience back there.
We actually have more than the three of us.
Yeah, there's a lot of people
today.
back there. This is the most people we've had in a Saturday producer's show, producer's room, pardon me, in probably our entire existence of Warriors this week.
There's a tour happening right now,
guys.
There's
a tour?
Really?
Do we get a cut?
This usually scares the hell out of me, because when I see that many people, either, the place is on fire and we all got to get out, or it's like somebody from management has come down and saying, okay, you're all three of you are done.
So one of the beautiful things about radio is usually we don't have an audience. Like, I'm fearful of public speaking, but when I'm on the radio, this light's on, we're talking to a lot of people, but it's just you and me. I get to talk to you or Pasta, but now we got 6 people in the back here, and I'm starting to get frightful.
Well, this is, it's almost as it's like solitary confinement, because the three of us stare at each other for 3 hours, and now we have other people we can look at. We're so excited, we're not even talking about whatever the hell it is we're supposed to talk about.
Is anybody back there going to crack the mic? Do we have anybody who can crack the mic?
Pasta, put somebody on a mic.
Hi, guys.
What's up?
Hello, and who are you?
Introduce yourself.
I'm Jennifer. I anchor for KCBS.
Right on, Jennifer.
Showing a tour here.
Okay,
awesome.
Friends, colleagues.
Say hi, Lisa.
I'm Jennifer's sister-in-law, and we
Family.
are
flight attendants and a pilot for Southwest.
Awesome.
Right on. Now, okay, now
thank you for what you've done.
Is Southwest still doing the cards? Am I still getting like my seat assignment? Can I get a seat assignment?
Long gone.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Southwest. It's still the safest airlines, right? As I understand it.
Pretty safe.
Yeah, we're actually talking about it during the break. So, no, thank you for, currently what you've been doing. I know there's been a lot going on as far as the airlines lately. So thank you very, very much.
Bring us butt in.
All right. Oh, of course. Well, enjoy the rest of your tour.
I love the hat, by the way.
Don't
She's
be a
rocking
stranger.
How do you describe that hat?
Fire.
I'm like, you know what? You and my man Pasta should switch hats. You rock the New York Yankee hat, and he can put on the fashionable hat. Pasta hasn't been fashionable in the last 15 years.
No, but he's working
and he's 17
on it.
years of age.
He's building his resume slowly but surely. The wardrobe is coming along. So, Pasta, what I need you to do right now, look at the 6 people behind you and take notes.
You know what's sad about this is they're going to leave, and then the 3 of us are just stuck with each other, and we're talking about the Warriors again. This is going to suck.
Yeah, we've been talking about arrogance in sports and a lot of things. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your tour. Have a great time in the city.
You know, you fly Southwest, and they used to give you you can't get a seat assignment. You were in sections. You were in section A, B, C, or D.
Well, I got a Southwest rewards card, so I get an extra bag. That's all I know. I don't like that, by the way. Now I know how Guru feels during the week sometimes. Or sorry, Steiny, which is you get to see all the people behind me in these plate glass windows, and I don't know who you're talking to or waving at.
Someone was flipping you off. It's all right. No, that was nice. That was nice. It was a nice little diversion from what we typically do here on.
Well, we typically talk sports.
Oh, we were talking about the bigs. Or did you want to go somewhere with that?
No, I was going to take a call, but if you want to go down that road, we
I already
can do that.
did.
Okay, well, we'll continue to talk about the bigs, but I feel bad because our guy Austin's been waiting on for a while. Pasta, thank you. Let's go to Austin, who's in San Jose. Austin, sorry about the aside there. We got a little sidetracked, but what's going on, man? Good morning.
You guys are having fun. Happy Saturday. Good morning. Good to talk to you guys. Hey, Dan, be careful with that pizza, the guy's Playhouse. Be careful with that one, man.
Yeah, you're right. That's remember how that thing all ended. You're right.
You started talking, I was like, get out of there quick. Hey,
I've seen the documentary.
Anyway, exactly. Anyway, guys, listen, great conversation. Rick Barry, by the way, was incredible this week. The whole 75 team and the interviews, you guys did a great job, by the way, getting these guys, Cliff and Jamal and those guys, and stories I heard last night. And then Rick, oh, my God. And everybody, I guess you guys are going to run it back, but some of the things he said I thought about the current Warriors, I thought was very interesting. One was about Jonathan Kaminga. He basically said, hey, I think he's too hesitant. I think I'm kind of paraphrasing maybe a little bit, but I think he said, hey, he should be doing more. So that's interesting. And the second thing he said about Pod, we won't ride Pod because he gets enough heat, but he said, I think he tries to do too much. So between those two comments, I think you're getting real. Dan, you said you love Rick because he's not afraid to say what he's thinking. I think that's true. We're missing that today. Everybody seems to be guarded, and I think we need more of, hey, I'd love to see Rick coming as a consultant just for a little bit and what he would do with the current Warriors team, how he would do things differently. That would be fascinating for me. I think you would see guys playing in position. I think you would see guys doing what they do best as opposed to guys trying to be what they're never going to be, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And a guy like Jonathan Kaminga, whether you like Kaminga or not, it really isn't the issue. The question is, how are they using him? Are they using him correctly? I think that's probably the bigger question that we always talk about fit. Dan was talking about this guy needs to fit in and he got to be our system. What about if we rearrange the system so that we could accommodate a guy? Like if they went out and got Anthony Davis, for example, right? Let's say they went and got Anthony Davis. By the way, you guys will think I'm crazy, but I would a healthy Anthony Davis, and that's always the question, but I would do it. If you got a 2-year runway, I would much rather have Anthony Davis than Jimmy Butler. That's just me. I think you got a better path to a championship with someone like Anthony Davis, for example, than Jimmy Butler.
So Austin, I agree with you, but does the 3 years, 180, I believe, that Davis has on the books, does that scare you at all?
Yeah, see, that's where I think fans in today's world, we get too caught up in the money, and I do myself, but I think that, listen, the money's going to reposition itself anyway. They're going to spend the money 2 years from now, Steph's gone, whatever, 3 years. And so the money will get repositioned. The question is, if you keep talking about Steph and the runway to a title potential, what gives you that chance? You got a bunch of undersized guys on the roster. You just said it. This team is constructed, whether you like this guy or that guy, doesn't matter. As constructed, they're not winning a title against the current NBA, what they're up against today, for all the reasons you said. So what is the path? The best path for me is you go get somebody like Anthony Davis. Yeah, he's a little older, but he gives you that thing you don't have right now. And you're not going to get it with this roster. So that's what I'm saying. Go get that person that's going to give you the best chance to go get a title. I would move Butler. You know, I you guys, I'm not a big Jimmy Butler fan. He's good, but I don't think you're going to win a title with him. That's just me. So anyway, guys, a couple thoughts. The Rick Barry thing was incredible, and I did laugh at the Kaminga thing last night. Dan, that was pretty funny when he kind of backslapped Kaminga. That was a classic TV moment, which again says more about Rick. It's spontaneous. You know, he wasn't thinking about what he said. He reacted, and I love that, man. So enjoying the show, guys. I'll keep listening.
Thanks, Austin. Yeah, I feel like it's one of those things where, like, Kaminga's a good, presentable, good-looking guy, and I could see totally Rick just being like, "You're too pretty to be a player. Just too pretty to be a player. What do you know about playing?"
He didn't go there. He just said, "You're wrong." He's like, "You don't." No, he said you didn't play. It's because you didn't play. You don't know what you're talking about, essentially.
That's what I'm saying. But he doesn't know who Kaminga Azubuike is.
Yeah,
clearly.
Yeah.
Not sure.
He's just like, oh, I see. You're just another pretty face on television.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That's how I imagine it. But what Austin's talking about, my piece of sound that I've been waiting to get to, which I know you love.
Yeah, excuse me. I'm going to continue. I'm going to. Pasta, do you mind? Tell them that I'll show them around the tour. They just walked past us.
That was hilarious, by the way.
But I'm going to come outside and I'll show them throughout the 95.7 The Game studios, because we're going to be in a soundbite for 30 seconds.
Well, no, you can go roll a fatty, but you're going to listen to Rick Barry in the meantime. Here's him talking about...
Oh, it's Rick Barry. I'm not going anywhere.
It's him talking about Jonathan Kaminga.
Kaminga has gotten better. Looked like his three-point shot early in the season was getting a little bit better. But, you know, he'll be his own worst enemy if he lets it get into his head with all the stuff that's been going on. You got to put all of that aside. You have to focus on playing your best, playing as intelligently, as smart as you can, doing the things that you do as well as you possibly can. I personally think, in watching him earlier in the season, he passes up too many opportunities to be an aggressive offensive player. With his quickness and ability to get to the basket, he can create so many other opportunities for his team by blowing by the guy that's guarding him and making it more difficult for the defenders to have to worry about him, and penetrating into the defense of the opponents and then kick it out to other people or finishing himself. He's a little bit too willing to give the ball up when he does get it.
So I think that's fascinating, because all we've heard from people around the Warriors, I think mainly the head coach in Kerr, is that kind of stuff is actually not what they want him to do. And I think it also bleeds into our conversation, well, really going back the last couple of years, that it's like, is it like, does it fit? You know, Rick Barry is seeing one skill set and wants him to do one thing. That's Rick Barry's opinion. The head coach is saying, well, we need to do these other things. And there seems to be a disconnect. And hopefully he's going to be back on Monday, by the way, because that's supposed to be the targeted return from his bilateral knee tendon.
Well, that's the dilemma, isn't it? Like, he doesn't know which lane to choose. Do I defer and pass and sort of get into the offense like Steve Kerr wants me to? Or do I be the athlete and just blow by my man because I know that I have the athleticism to do it? And you can see him overthinking this every time he comes down the floor and when he gets into his own head. And that's the problem. And I think, as you and I have discussed, we're 5 years into this. And I think, for me, I've hit the end of the rope. Like, it's not a reflection on Jonathan Kaminga's talent. It's just not going to work here. It's time for you, young fella, to pack your bags, and hopefully it works somewhere else. Because this is too much of this. The light may never go on for him, but if he's still thinking to this degree and not just being, in order to be a good basketball player, Ev, you got to be instinctive, right? It's got to come natural to you. Like, it's just, you know what it is that you need to do on every possession.
That's why if I could combine Jonathan Kaminga and Brandon Pajemski, I think they would be a perfect match. Like, they're kind of polar opposites because, and Austin said it, it's like Pods has the mindset that people want Kaminga to have, but Kaminga has the ability that Pods thinks that he has.
Yeah, that's right. We talked about this.
And it's just so strange to watch the two of them on the same team. And, I didn't think Pods was a problem last night. He didn't defend very well. No one did.
I thought he was good last night.
He got to the line 10 times. Do you know that?
I thought he was above average last night. I thought he was really, really good.
You know Kaminga has not been to the line 10 times this year? Brandon Pajemski should not be getting to the free throw line more than Jonathan Kaminga. It just shouldn't happen. And that's where, I'm looking at the game last night, and clearly they're devoid of athletes, and Kaminga can fill that role. I don't know how, to me, he's not the missing piece. Him coming back, to me, is not going to solve all of their problems. But he can be, kind of like a patchwork solution. I think he can do some of the things that they don't have. But that's if he is dialed in. Because if he's not, if he's overthinking things, if he's feeling and I think the contract and the situation from the summer kind of plays into this of he's well, you guys are looking to trade me anyways, so what am I really buying in for? That to me is where the negotiations from last summer kind of are maybe rearing their head a little bit now, because I understand completely why he would have second thoughts about how he should be playing, because you guys just want to trade me anyways. But they need him right now, and I think that he needs them if he indeed wants to leave.
And I think it's really apparent when you play teams, especially like that of Portland. What is Portland? Portland's young with a bunch of two-way wings, and it's that athleticism that the Warriors can't counter. And they can to a certain degree when they have Jonathan Kaminga, but it becomes really apparent that the Warriors are old and not athletic when you're taking on Portland and you don't have Jonathan Kaminga. By the way, I thought Pajemski was really good last night. You want to know why? And they brought this up on the broadcast. It's because he's playing off of guys. When you don't have Steph Curry wasn't available in that game against Miami, none of those guys were there. When he plays a specific role and he's not trying to create and he's not trying to get to the rim with that awkward sort of step-through finish that he has or those little runners, but he's just, he's being opportunistic and letting the game come to him. He was really, really good. Shout out to White Shohei last night.
He did. He had a White Shohei quarter, I think it was. It was the second quarter. He played pretty well. Look, I think
if he could be that guy last night, that's a good basket. That's his future in this league.
Well, that to me, he's a guy off the bench that some nights is just going to be his connecting self and might get exposed. Other nights he might be able to get you 20. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. They had the lead, yes, because Curry hit 5 threes going into the half, but because Pajemski kind of kept him within striking distance along with Butler. They don't have guys right now who can score. They just don't. Who's the Warriors' third best scorer if Kaminga's not on the floor?
Moody?
You would hope. Yeah. I mean, and even last night,
he disappeared last night.
I didn't think he had a good game last night. And it was mainly defensively that was kind of frustrating because so when I hear Rick talk about Kaminga needing to get into the paint, right? I don't know if Kaminga can really do it off the dribble, but I know that every single Portland Trailblazer, it felt like to me last night, Dan, was just blowing by their guy. Every single time. Avdija, Caleb Love, who, that was the best game of his NBA career so far. I mean, he hit some massive shots. But even, who was it, Sissoko?
Yeah.
Sidi Sissoko?
Where did he come from?
Well, he comes from the bench. But he had to start last night and has had to start because they're missing both Shaedon Sharpe along with Drew Holiday.
Dame Lillard is done for the year. Remember him?
Was he on the bench?
I don't know.
I actually didn't get a chance to check that out. I think the only chance the Warriors had in that game last night was if either they continued to hit threes or Donovan Klingen's ankle was actually rolled and injured. Not that we want him to be. All right, 888-957-9570 is the number. Giddings and Devone, Pasta, and our tour guide in studio with you here at in the Laughing Monk Studios. Let's go to David. David's in Berkeley. David, good morning, man. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Listen, guys, I'll be real quick about this. Go back to 1961 in Madison Square Garden. There were 4 players on the floor. That's Barry Kramer, Happy Harrison, and Billy Cunningham, and a guy named Rick Barry. And that Billy Cunningham just blew everybody away. I never saw anything like it. He just destroyed NYU. And I hung around for the second game, and some guy kept hitting every shot that he took. I couldn't believe it. He had like 35 points at the end of the game. It was Rick Barry. Unbelievable.
Is this NIT tournament?
No, it was just a Friday night doubleheader they used to have for college basketball. But I really wanted to just say I was at a party, and I wound up sitting next to Franklin Muey. And at that time, he looked like he was, didn't have his mind together. But I asked him, I said, look, how come you don't hire Rick Barry as a coach? The guy really knows basketball. He knows people. And one of his cohorts got in my face and said, well, he's such a good player, he couldn't tolerate players that aren't as good as he is, and they didn't think he would be a good coach. And I just said, that's the dumbest answer I've ever heard in my life. That's about it, guys. I just wanted to call it. Nothing much. You guys are terrific, by the way.
Thanks, David. Appreciate that. Thanks for the story as well.
He was Miami of Ohio, I believe, right? Rick Barry, I want to say.
Yeah, what was Bill King's nickname for him? Oh gosh, hold on.
Didn't Bill King get a technical?
He got ejected.
I miss that,
Bill
man.
King got ejected.
The Miami Greyhound?
The Miami Greyhound, that's what it was, yes. Bill King gave him the nickname the Miami Greyhound because he was so quick.
There's another one too, Ricky Balboa.
That's pretty good. But, yeah, wait, so I thought I told you this story. Yeah, Bill King got ejected from a basketball game because he mother effed the referees, and they caught it on tape. So back in the day, they were, obviously, you can't go back and go in the archives to find this cut. So it was on a reel. And whoever was producing in that studio told this story to Ken Korak, who wrote the book about Bill King after he passed away in 2005. And in this story, the producer is telling the story that, I might not have every detail right, but the Warriors were getting jobbed, and Bill King, who was very expressive when it comes to officiating, basically turned his mic down. So he turned himself off, but he forgot that the crowd mic, which gets a lot, the squeaks on the floor and the swishes and all the grunting and clapping, all the stuff you hear, the ambiance, was still on. And usually you have the crowd mic, if you're doing radio, either hanging over the side of the media board or it's on the floor. So the sound reverberates. So you could hear Bill King mother effing the referee on the radio, and he ended up getting ejected. And basically the producer just had to go cut that piece of reel.
How did the referees catch wind of this?
Because you could hear him.
Oh,
like he was speaking to the ref. Like he turned his mic off to yell at the ref.
Oh, I see. The ref heard him.
Yeah.
Got it.
But you could also hear it on the radio, what he was saying to the referee. And they cut that from the reel.
Wow.
But the producer, obviously, firsthand knowledge, knew what happened. All right, 888-957-9570 is the number. More stories and arrogance on the other side. Evan Giddings, Dan Devone. We're taking your calls as well. This is Warriors This Week, 95.7 The Game.
Comcast Business is celebrating the holidays by giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed internet package. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 12, a new laptop for the office holiday hero. Or possibility number 108, smart speakers to deck those hallways. Or possibility number 192, new equipment for the new year. Or possibility number 555, Bluetooth holiday lights for office decor. Switch to Comcast Business, designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect, plus advanced cybersecurity, and now get the $1,000 holiday bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 12/14/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Requires qualifying gig package. Other restrictions apply.
This Black Friday is the best time to get the Toyota you've been wanting, but these deals will disappear soon. Right now, get low 3.99% financing or a low-cost lease on the capable 2025 RAV4. Or get a low-cost lease on the sporty 2026 50 MPG Corolla Hybrid or the fuel-efficient 2026 51 MPG Camry. Black Friday is almost over, so visit your Toyota dealership before these deals are gone. Toyota, let's go places. Offers available through TFS to buyers with premium-rated credit ends 12/1/25.
When businesses thrive, communities score.
That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in the Bay Area. And our more than 110 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
It's Black Friday sale time at Big O Tires. Get the tires you want for less. Michelin, BF Goodrich, Pirelli, and more. Plus, buy 3, get 1 free on Big O branded tires. Hurry, sale ends December 7th. Installation required. Disposal fees extra. Not good with other offers. See Big O dealer for details.
Mama Bear, I hear our old Fast Track tag won't be saving us money on bridge tolls anymore.
That's because bridge carpool rules are changing on January 1st. But don't worry, Papa Bear. I got a new Fast Track Flex tag. Huh? See?
Mama, what are the numbers for?
Well, Baby Bear, that tells the system how many people are in the car, so we can get a discount when there are 3 or more of us. We are 3 bears, and we're setting our tag to 3+. So it's just right.
So now we'll keep saving money on tolls?
Mm-hmm. You bet your cushy driver's seat, Papa.
That'll make up for this cold takeout porridge. Yeah.
My breakfast burrito is just right.
Starting January 1st, 3 or more people are required for carpool discounts on all bridges. A Fast Track Flex toll tag set to 3+ is required for discounts on all bridges except the Bay Bridge and the Golden Gate. Visit getfasttrack.org for details.
Monte Hill for my friends at Ceremony Ford, and the year-end sales event is on now. This is the time to score 0% APR financing for 60 months with $0 down and 0 payments for 90 days on some of Ford's hottest models, including the F-150, Explorer, Escape, Super Duty Regular and Super Cab, Transit Van, Lightning, and the all-electric Mustang Mach-E. Look, I absolutely love my Explorer. It's perfect for my family, packed with cutting-edge tech and style to stand out wherever you go. And with deals like these, you won't want to miss this chance to grab your dream Ford. Remember, that's 0% APR for 60 months, $0 down, and no payments for 90 days. You can save big on top models right now, but hurry, these year-end deal savings end January 5th, so swing by Ceremony Ford in Colma, just off Ceremony Boulevard, or check out their incredible inventory right now at ceremonyford.com. Ceremony Ford, the Bay Area's go-to spot for unbeatable year-end deals, and don't forget to tell them that Bonte sent you.
All right, folks, this is it. The weekend many of you have been waiting for. Black Friday. The lowest prices of the year on the top-rated brands of TV. Samsung, LG, and Sony, with deals up to $1,000 off. No need to buy a poorly rated unknown brand with prices like this. So what could be even better? How about video-only's better than Black Friday deals? That's right, better than Black Friday. Before you buy, check out Video Only, or you'll be sorry.
On the golf tee, it's Skechers World Champions Cup. Watch it live December 4th and 5th on ESPN and ESPN Plus, 12 to 4 p.m. It's PGA Champions Tour golfers from all over the world. Team USA versus Team Europe versus Team International. Watch it live December 4th and 5th on ESPN and ESPN Plus, 12 to 4 p.m. The competition will be tense, but feet will be comfy. Tune in to Skechers World Champions Cup. Final round of golf on Sunday, December 7th on ABC, 1 to 5 p.m.
Another app for inventory, one for CRM. Oh, don't forget accounting. Wait, which login was that?
Or you could use Odoo, one fully integrated system that does it all without the hassle. Ditch the app overload. Get everything your business needs on one platform. Try Odoo free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Red and Gold Game Day starts at Laughing Monk Brewing. Park for free. Enjoy amazing food, ice-cold beer, and every game on TV. Catch 95.7 The Game's pregame show. Then hop on the free shuttle straight to the stadium. Sign up now at 957thegame.com.
So, Rick, here's Buddy Hield trying to shoot underhand free throws.
Yeah, but his form is, he still made one, but his form was terrible. Your hands don't go flying out. But it's proven scientifically to be the most efficient way to shoot a free throw, and yet people won't do it. It doesn't make any sense. My youngest son, Candid, who played in the Olympics in 3x3, and actually he was a 90% shooter.
Well, I got to be honest with you, Rick. I tried it, and I struggle with it, so I might need your pointers as well. But
but the thing about it is that you're not a player.
Wait, what? Kalana played in the league. I played in the league.
No, you're not. No, but you're not a player. I mean, a real player would have learned how to do it properly. Okay, if you really had the skills and the desire to do it, you would be a better free throw shooter. But if I had taught you the right technique, you probably would have done it. But there's nobody around teaching it properly. That's the problem.
Shots fired for Rick Barry. All right, well, he's a legend.
Now back to Warriors This Week on 95.7 The Game.
Oh, man. All right, first things first.
Rack that. That is poetry.
Hands. You gotta clap your hands for Kalena right there. I mean, he handled that like a pro.
Really well.
He said he never played. He was in the NBA.
No one's
Rick.
taught you how to shoot a free throw. You would have been a better free throw shooter.
Well, I love how
you don't go there with Rick. Don't even give the inclination that the underhand free throw is ineffective.
No, and he also prefaced it by saying it's scientifically proven to be the greatest way to ever shoot a free throw. It's been scientifically proven. And then the moment that Kalena says, or Bob actually stepped in because Kalena didn't want to be the guy. He's like, Rick, you played in the league. And he goes, well, you're not a player. Like you weren't a good player. You weren't taught well. He just doubled and tripled down on his original statement. Oh, man.
That's good. What was that? Television? That's good television.
That is good television.
I mean, that's what Charles Barkley makes a living on, right? Like it's these sort of honest comments that we love. Because everybody thinks that they got to drive it right down the middle of the lane and be so homogenous like everybody else. When somebody is just themselves, right or wrong, it's so refreshing. Like, be genuine for you who's going to be, I mean, in up-and-coming star in terms of play-by-play. You got to take a little Rick Barry with you.
Well, it's a little more difficult for someone like me than you.
No, you could never do that. Yeah.
No, I can't. But that's also not my personality. You know, I think, I mean, I've only been good at sports at like up until a certain level. Like I was one of the better high school players in my league, but I was never dominant enough at any level the way Rick Barry was to feel like my opinion is the most valid opinion in any room I walk into. Like, it doesn't matter. If we're talking basketball, Rick Barry's opinion is better than yours. You know, it's like listening to Kyle Shanahan sometimes.
You know what it has a tint of, and I want to get out of this?
Except Rick Barry was a top 50 player of all time.
It has a tint of, and I want to get out of this as quickly as I get into it. The President of the United States. There's a little bit of that sort of, I'm the greatest who's ever done it.
Father Time's in Napa.
Thank you very much.
Father Time's in Napa. Get us off this page, Father Time. What's up, man? Good morning.
Oh, hello. Let me put down my $400 per bottle of glass of Dominus and have a conversation with you. Are you kidding me? Napa Valley arrogance? Come on. Come on.
Get him.
Yeah, no, I mean, Napa's earned its arrogance. You know, the city of Napa has really come into its own. Up Valley, Oakville, Rutherford, St. Helena, Calistoga, they've been kind of in that rare air
Shout
for a
out
while. Napa's worked really
Frank
hard.
Family Vineyards in Calistoga. You familiar with it?
Word up. Yeah, I used to do some work in marketing for the Valley way back when, so
Nice.
I'm pretty proud of where it's come. But you're right on the money. It is so expensive. My family's been here since the 30s. Wife's been here since the 1880s, and things have really changed. It used to be very blue-collar, and now it's not so blue-collar. You know, I think you were talking about athletes that are into the wine biz. You know, Drew Bledsoe was on your airwaves maybe a month ago.
That's right.
And he's been doing it for a while, in Yakima and in the Willamette Valley, mostly with Pinot in the Willamette Valley, which is a great place. There's so many great regions. Everything is there's comparable stuff to Napa, of course. Willamette actually has a really great winery called Toomey, which is part of the Silver Oak portfolio.
Silver
A friend of
Oak.
mine works there. Yep, shameless plugs. And there's approachable wine in Napa. I know a wine company called Art House Wines that has a really beautiful $65 Pinot. You should check it out. Great company. Shameless plug. Let me talk Warriors, if you don't mind. They made this bed that they're in, and Steph Curry made this bed. The Archangel himself can do no wrong. Everybody thinks that that's the case. He's a silent assassin because he works in the shadows. But he decided that Jordan Poole, he was the person that he wanted to back, and then off Poole went. Poole would be scoring 20, 25 points a game for this team right now. That second scorer they so desperately need. Other thing they desperately need is a big man. You guys touched on it earlier. Al Horford is not that big. I could be playing men's basketball pickup with Al Horford. We have 40-year-olds in our pickup game. It is insane that he's doing that. And it's, honestly, it's crazy that we're talking about it when you think about it, that he's meant to be a key contributor every other game or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the Warriors really did this themselves. They chose a brand over winning basketball, or they thought that they could just surround Steph with anybody and we'd still win. And there are nights when he's spectacular. There's going to be those nights. But I think you're looking at a team that's sub 500. I just feel like that's the unless there's a trade, maybe there'll be a trade. But that's where I see things. What do you guys think about that?
I got you. Well, thanks for coming down Dan's road, Father Time. They're going to have to make a move. At some point this season, they're going to have to make a move. Otherwise, they're going to be in trouble. By the way, clean up on Isle E. I confused. You were right. Bill King got a technical foul. I confused him. By the way, the rest of the story was correct, but he got a technical. Mike Rice, who used to broadcast for the Portland Trailblazers, got ejected by Steve Javie. He's the only broadcaster to be ejected.
So
Steve
Pasta
Javie
brought
also
up an interesting question.
Ejected a mascot.
If it happens to a mascot got ejected?
Yeah, Steve Javie once ejected a mascot.
Pasta brought up an interesting point. If that happens and it's a solo broadcast like Tim Roy on the road and he gets ejected, not that would ever happen, or say he gets sick, who calls the game? Like, is there an emergency? Does R.C. Davis then slide into that spot?
Well, so I don't know if this would ever actually be able to happen anymore because very few arenas in the NBA still let the broadcasters broadcast from the floor. Typically, it's now expensive seating or other media members. Like even at Chase Center, Tim Roy is right on he has a really good view of the court, and I actually think it's kind of better and more conducive to play-by-play. You can see the whole floor, but he's not on the floor. So if he was to be ejected, I don't know how the Phoenix Suns arena is set up, but I don't know. Maybe Cameron Williams would call it from the studio on a monitor.
Well, I will say R.C. Davis does not travel with the team apparently, but I just thought of something. Maybe what happens is that there's a way that there would be a TV simulcast, and maybe you get the NBC crew on the radio. I don't know how that would work. Maybe it's a question for our program director, Matt Nahikian, and what would happen if that happened.
Yeah, no, and this is true from our
You'd get
our
a phone
chat.
call.
Me? Hey, we need you right now.
We need Ev right now. Can you just do it on TV, and then we're going to pipe you out on the airways of 95.7 The Game?
They would probably
and you know
call
what's going to happen?
Kevin Dana for that.
You're going to be at La Rocca's like 14 cocktails deep when that phone call comes.
You don't know where I...
You don't go to La
I
Rocca's.
slump. No, I don't like La Rocca.
Really?
Well, I do.
Whoa. You can say you don't go there. You can say that's not my hood, but you don't. No one in the history of San Francisco has ever said I don't like it. There's nothing not to like about it.
See, this is how I know that you're from the city and not from New York, where you are every single day, except for when we have this conversation, because that's where your inner San Francisco comes out. La Rocca is a fine establishment, but the moment that I poo-poo anything that is city-affiliated, all you multi-generation city folk, you San Franciscans, come out of nowhere with your swords unsheathed, and you just you swing wildly with your sabers at me. All I gave was an opinion.
I walk by La Rocca's on my way from the Dolphin Club. I walk through North Beach every Saturday. So at 8:30 in the morning, I'm walking by La Rocca's on my way to, what's the address here? 885 Kearney Street, 85 Kearney Street? 88 Kearney Street. I walk through North Beach. And 8:30, just this morning, the place is packed. 8:30 in the morning, there's boys at the bar, and they're all watching soccer. I don't know what soccer match is going off, but there's obviously like a European contingent. I just look in there, it's just like good vibes, man. That makes me feel good. That people are actually feeling good and throwing them back, and it's not even 9 in the morning. And where's that happening? It's happening at La Rocca's. You may not go to La Rocca's. It may not be within your little sort of wherever your yuppified world is these days, but don't ever say, I don't like it.
You want to go there after the show?
Sure.
All right. Let's go back to the phone lines. 888-957-9570 is the number. Let's talk to Roberto in Hayward. Roberto, good morning. What's going on? How are you?
Good. How you guys doing?
Awesome, man. What do you got?
So I got some cold news. Anyway, 1975, my friend and I went to SFO to watch the Warriors come in after the victory. And we got there kind of early. A lot of people started piling up. And after a while, after like a couple hours, they said, wonder where the Warriors are. Announcement came over that the Warriors had to land in Oakland instead of SFO. So then they bust all the players over to United Airlines and SFO, and all the players are getting lined up. And the guy behind us is coming up, excuse me, got to get to the front. It was Bill King walking behind us to get to the front. So I never forget that experience. It was really cool to be there to do that.
That's awesome, Roberto. Was he a nice guy?
Yeah, it was cool. It was like, one turn around and goes, hey, that's Bill King. What's he doing back here? So anyway, thanks for taking the call. Happy Thanksgiving. Have a blessed time with all your family. God bless you guys.
Oh, back at you. Appreciate that.
You know, Bill King, he liked to throw him back a little bit. There's stories about after they won that title. Did you hear this?
You
Somebody
go first, I'll go second.
Well, I don't want to tarnish the man's image, but yeah.
You tarnish my image every single time we step on the airwaves.
So apparently
together.
on his way home after partying, after winning that game 4, he never made it home. Apparently he fell asleep somewhere, I want to say in the I don't know. I don't want to give like there's a lot more to the story, and I've just heard sort of bits and pieces, so I'll leave it alone, other than he celebrated hard that night when they swept Washington.
Well, who hasn't? But what I do know is that one of the reasons why Bill King and Wilt Chamberlain got along and were pretty close was because they shared an affinity for the drink White Russian. They both like White Russians. I'm talking about the drink.
Yeah, little Kahlua and milk, I want to say.
Yep, pretty strong, pretty calorically dense. That's the way to put it.
A lot of cream.
Yeah, so they both like White Russian, the drink, and that's how they kind of hit it off. Like, they would hang out after games, and that was their drink of choice.
I mean, didn't he study, like, Russian literature?
Yeah, he was a Renaissance man, but I don't know if he, like, Russian poetry was an interest of his from what I've read, but I don't know if he would weave it into his broadcast, but you could just tell that the man was studied by his verbiage.
Yeah. No, he wouldn't.
He was most verbose.
Yeah, he wouldn't do that in the broadcast, but you could just tell that this guy's a little different because inadvertently he'd throw out words kind of like you. Unsheathe.
Well, you came at me with your saber.
That's awesome, man.
Kahlua, milk, and vodka. Thank you, 707.
Kalena?
No, honestly, if we ever get Kalena on at any point, I want to ask him about that because I've met him. Well, I've only talked to him like off the air maybe once or twice just before an interview. He really is like the nicest guy.
Yeah, he handled it really well.
He's so nice. There's a lot of other guys, like if someone had, not to say they have the same resume, but the same mindset of a Rick Barry, that could have gone sideways.
You know what's good about it is it was so humbling. It's sometimes between those two, there's sort of a suck fest. And it's just like, I love you, you love me, and everything's just so, come on. And so you need a Rick Barry just to pierce through and make things real. And it just brought everybody back to like, oh, he just took a shot at me, which never happens. And it should happen a little more frequently. I mean, it was just an honest, sort of refreshing exchange from that point forward.
Well, I don't know this because I'm not an athlete, but I wonder how much they take shots from other athletes. You know, Draymond Green does it all the time. Like, I don't know if you saw the exchange between him and Kenyon Martin.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, was it Russell Wilson? Who did he go after?
Well, Dak Prescott was the guy he called a bum. Yeah. But this week, Kenyon Martin. So I guess on I don't know the show, but it's like Gilbert Arenas, Nick Young, Rashad McCants, and Kenyon Martin. They have a podcast together. And a lot of times Nick Young is like the butt of a lot of jokes. Yeah. He's the Buddy Hield of the show. But he is, I think, the only one that has an NBA championship, which he obviously won with the Warriors in 2018. And so I forget how this happened, but Martin might have been going at Draymond, but I saw that Draymond basically stuck up for Nick Young saying, you can't talk about him like that because you're not a champion, and then slowly just demolished his entire career in comparison to his. And Kenyon Martin clapped back at him, but it was like, I understand when those kinds of guys go at each other, but when an old-time athlete steps in the room, to your point, usually they're very glowing and they're complimentary, and I feel like there's a lot of mutual respect. Not that there isn't respect from Rick Barry to this generation of players, but if there's something he feels he wants to be critical about, he's just going to tell you. And for that to be his first thought that you didn't play. Oh, you played? You weren't a player. Just immediately to the next part. Oh, it's called Gil's Arena. Now it's called The Arena.
Speaking of podcasts.
Thanks, 707.
Are you following Michael Porter Jr.? What the hell is he doing?
He beat the Celtics last night is what he did. He had 32 points. He killed the Celtics.
But Michael Porter Jr. on these podcasts is like, whoa, where'd this come from? The Denver Nuggets must have kept this dude under wraps for years because he gets to New York and suddenly it's like every week he's just popping off. Like crazy, out of control stuff. And he was talking about high school players could beat a WNBA All-Star team, and like he's out on tipping, and like it's like, bro, we didn't have this in Denver.
Well, what do you think those Thanksgiving dinners are like?
Which ones?
The Porters. You got
how about
Michael?
How about the buses?
You got Jonte. Oh.
You want to be at Thanksgiving dinner there?
Not this year. Not this year. Was it just the brothers that got the
brothers,
axe?
Yeah.
Yeah, the brothers got the
but
axe.
She's in feud with, she has two older brothers she doesn't talk to either. But you know what? Before you feel sorry for the buses.
Well, by the way, Michael Porter Jr. on the tipping stuff, isn't he just regurgitating, is it Mr. Pink from Reservoir Dogs? Have you seen that movie?
Of course.
But the opening scene where they're at the
talking
restaurant.
into an ear?
Well, yeah, but he's talking about how it's just like an arbitrary experiment, basically, tipping is, for a basic service. And that's why he doesn't believe in it, because it's just an experiment that is arbitrary.
It's one of the beauties of being in Europe and traveling a little bit.
You shouldn't be expected to tip because society expects you to.
But you go to Europe and you order that big meal and you walk out. And everybody says, thank you, including the waiters. They don't expect anything.
Well, that's because they're also taken care of, unlike here in America.
Yeah.
You ever worked?
Oh, hell yeah. I used to be a doorman back in my right out.
Like a culinary job?
Before I started at calling games for the Chaminade Silver Swords and doing weekends at KGMB, the CBS affiliate here in Honolulu, Hawaii. Let's turn it over now to the weatherman. How's it looking out there? Well, it's 85 and sunny, just like it's been the last 19 months. No, but I worked at the Hilton Hawaiian, and I used to park Danny Calakini's car. And then Don Ho used to perform at the Hilton Hawaiian Village. I was
what was he famous for again?
Tiny bubbles in the wine.
Oh!
Makes me happy. Makes me feel so fine.
Oh, heck yes.
What? What are you going to say about Dono?
No, there was a song of his that, it's not Tiny Bubbles. No, I mean, Bretta is the only guy that I really took a fondness
Dude was buried
to.
in a piano box.
Well, that was out of necessity. I thought they put him in the water.
No, I'm joking.
Once he was in a box.
Come on, man.
What?
Dude, you say that with your complexion in Hawaii, and then seriously, I'll never see you again. You start dissing on Brother Is in Hawaii as a haole boy, I may never, seriously, you'll be somewhere in Nanakuli, they're going to find you slowly roasting on a pit with an apple in your mouth for Thanksgiving.
What do you know about Waianae?
You couldn't do that in Waianae for damn sure.
I've been to Waianae. I'm still standing. No, did I ever tell you about, so I was like, I think I was 14. So my dad used to drive cab out in Hawaii.
Your dad?
Yeah, he drove there for like a year. He drove cab.
Respect.
On Oahu. And so he, developed a lot of friendships, and one of his friends still lives out there, and they live in Waianae. And we went out there to visit. And so we go to one of the local beaches, and it's a beautiful, just picture perfect day. Nobody's there because it's on the west side of the island. It's only local people. So there's this I don't know, middle-aged Hawaiian guy walks up to me and my brothers. We're showering off, went swimming with turtles. It was spectacular. And he goes, "What are you guys doing here?" He looks at it and he says, what are you guys doing here? And of course, we don't know any better. It's the first time I've been to Hawaii since I was like 4. But we're teenagers, and we say, "Oh, well, we're staying with our friends. He lives right over there, like around the block." And he goes, "Oh, okay. Well, didn't you read the airplane manual?" And I said, "What do you mean the airplane manual?" He goes, "Well, the airplane manual told you not to come to Waianae." And I look at him and I go, I didn't get it at the time. And of course now when I went to college, I had a lot of friends from all parts of all the islands, and they're all like, "Why are you there?" The guy's completely correct.
That's funny. Well, there's 2 things before we get to the break that you should never do if you're in a place like Waianae. And the locals love their pakalolo, their marijuana. Don't sell it if you're not a local. And then the other thing is, and I don't know this firsthand, but if you go out there to surf on that side of the island, be patient, because you may never get a set. Because if they don't recognize you and you're not a local, you could sit there for days. So 2 things to remember.
Well, that was one of the beautiful parts about the beaches, because there was very few people there. You could kind of do whatever you wanted, as long as they knew that you were with someone from there and weren't just out there sightseeing and, taking up their beach, basically. Anyways, we're going to get to more calls on the other side. I promise we'll get back into the Warriors. 888-957-9570. Also, pasta. You got something coming up for us in a few
the big surprise
minutes.
at 11 o'clock.
I don't know what it is.
We have a mystery guest.
Stay tuned.
Mystery guest, apparently.
Can you give us a tease, or just...
No tease.
No tease.
Right.
Okay. He's going to bring something or someone on. We got to guess who and what it is.
I'm going to shut the door back here when I call the person.
Now, is it one of the people from the tour guide that came by earlier?
Oh, damn it.
Seriously?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay. All right. Gettings and Devone back after this. Warriors This Week.
Hey, folks, this is it. The best weekend of the year for buying a TV. Forget inflation, because now you've got deflation with Black Friday pricing on top-rated brands like Samsung, LG, and Sony. Where's the best place to shop? It's not the clubs or online. Join the smart shoppers heading for video only, because they've got better than Black Friday deals. That's right, better. Don't believe it? Then bring your prices to video only and compare before you buy. Or you'll be sorry. At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In Mountain View, San Mateo, Union City, Dublin, and San Rafael. Video Only.
When you own your own business, you need to keep things moving. Need to book a last-minute flight? Earn a $300 travel credit to cover that. Need to take a meeting before takeoff? Do it from the comfort of the Chase Sapphire Lounge by the club. Need to catch your breath before you board? Done. With $2,500 in annual value, the new Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business is the card that gives back all you put in. Visit chase.com/reserve business to learn more. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Want to hear something super? Merit America wants to get you on a path to a super new, high-paying career with free training and coaching. And it starts by working at events leading up to the super big game. Go to meritamerica.org/super and see how you can sign up for super career training in HR, HR, logistics, data analysis, and much more for free. But time is running out. Apply by November 24th. Don't miss this super opportunity. So go to meritamerica.org/super fast.
There's a party at your house, but some are uninvited. Yeah, it's bugs. You've got ants, spiders, maybe a mouse or two. It's a full-blown shindig. But don't let these party crashers ruin your good time. Visit atgopestcontrol.com and let them show those pests the door permanently. Because when the only guests you want are your friends, leave the pests to them. Visit their website today, atcopestcontrol.com, before your house becomes a full-blown infestation. Call 888-900-9697 now for 10% off your initial service.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
In San Diego, kids are standing up against big tobacco.
We are here to discuss the urgent issue of vapes being sold near schools and other places where people gather.
I was enticed, like so many others my age, and this is exactly how the tobacco market was trying to get me to react, and I was completely unaware.
Today, over 100 California communities restrict tobacco sales near youth spaces, like schools and parks. Learn how these teens and other Californians are beating big tobacco at undo.org.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tea at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Get ready for the return of the legendary rock group Motley Crue when they come to the Bay Area September 24th at Shoreline Amphitheater with Tesla and Extreme. For more info and a chance to score a pair of tickets, courtesy of Live Nation, enter our contest online at 957thegame.com.
Oh, hey, welcome to gift wrapping. Whoa, Zoe Saldana.
Hey, can you wrap these, please?
Wow, iPhone 17s. You splurged.
At T-Mobile, you can get 4 iPhone 17s on them. The new center stage front camera is amazing for group selfies. It's the perfect gift for everyone.
I'm the worst. I only got my mom a robe.
Well, it's better than socks.
So I have to trade in my old phone, right?
No, at T-Mobile, there's no trade-ins needed when you switch. Keep your old phone or give it as a gift.
Incredible.
In fact, wrap up my old phone too. For my Aunt Rosa. Forget that. Aunt Liz will be jealous.
Sounds like my family drama.
Oh, I got it. I'll give it to my abuela. I'll take reindeer paper with. Hey, where are you going?
To T-Mobile.
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Get 4 iPhone 17s on us. No trade-in needed when you switch. Plus 4 lines for just $25 a line.
24 monthly bill credits and 4 eligible board-ins on essentials. For well-qualified customers, auto-pay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended. Balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 256 gigabytes, $830 required. Visit T-Mobile.com.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Now back to Warriors This Week on 95.7 The Game.
You know, unlike last night at Chase Center, there's a lot of pressure building right now in the studio because Steven Risotto has put together, he texted us last night, or was it this morning? I gets a little hazy sometimes.
Can't remember.
And he says, I got something for you guys at 11 a.m. I got a voice, a guest, a piece of sound. Pasta, I'm going to give the floor to you, and you can help set us up for something that I, quite frankly, know nothing about.
I thought we got to guess.
Well,
Oh, that sounds like the phone, Evan. Man, you went through a lot of production. Evan and Dan, as you know, all guests on 95.7 The Game.
Here on the River Islands guest line. Isn't it time for you to discover the islands, River Islands, in Lathrop?
All right, we got a mystery caller, so you guys are going to have to guess who this is. So he's on the line right now. Go for it.
Hello, who is it? You're on with Evan and Dan.
You can't just ask who it is.
Oh, we got to guess.
Hello. A pleasure to be here.
It's Kevin Dana.
Wow, Devone, that was money.
Gucci! Are you serious?
Boom!
Wow, the unreal voice recognition there by Devone.
Dude, that took him 3 seconds. What's up, KD? How you doing, man?
Hey, doing swell. Happy to be on the program with you. Oh yeah, I was stoked when Risotto hit me up this week to let me know I'd be on with you guys.
Yeah, well, okay, so in all honesty, I did not know you were coming on, and I did see that it was a 408 number, but I have to admit that I don't have your number memorized. I was hoping, though, Kev, you can help us with something. So we were talking about broadcasters, of which, for those that are, Kevin does, you've heard him for the Warriors. He obviously is the voice of the Santa Cruz Warriors, fills in for Tim Roy when he's in and out. So if
Valkyries?
And the voice of the Valkyries as well. Thank you, Dan. So, KD, if Tim Roy, hypothetically, was to get ejected from a game on the road, would they call you and would you be able to call the game immediately remotely?
So in that situation, I think we'd be in a world of hurt. R.C. Davis is a magician. I'm not sure he'd be able to pull that one off. I will say during the COVID season, I was like the COVID backup broadcaster. So in case someone tested positive, because you had to test to go into Chase Center every day. Back then, home road games, we were doing all of them. I would go just in case Tim Roy tested positive. Now, he never tested positive, but I have been like a COVID emergency broadcaster before.
So, Kev, we were talking a little Bill King as we were going back to the 1975 heyday, and of course, they had the celebration last night out at Chase. Yeah. And Fitzgerald was talking about this on the broadcast, how Bill King really influenced him to be a broadcaster. I'm just curious, who was it when you were growing up, or was there anybody that you're like, yeah, the light went on and like, I want to be that guy? Or what sort of led you into the profession?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up listening to Bob Fitzgerald and Tim Roy, so those guys definitely big influences. But I was almost more influenced by talk radio. I grew up listening to the Doghouse on Wild 94.9, JB and Elvis. Those were my idols. Howard Stern, I listen to Howard Stern to this day still. So I love talk radio, and I eventually figured out I knew that I wanted to do play-by-play, but the art of just listening to people chat on the air, I don't know. I just got enthralled by it. So those were and then I was a big Braves fan on TBS. So it was Skip Carey, that Don Sutton, that crew as well.
And then I'm curious too, because I feel like sometimes I'm still trying to figure this out. But so your style, for those that have listened to you, it is unique to you. Like I would consider, if I hear you, like I know it's Kevin Dan. Like, you're not trying to emulate, impersonate. That's uniquely you. But as someone who's done it for a long time, when did you feel like you developed your voice? Like really kind of owned it the way that, again, people hear now for the Valkyries and when you fill in for the Warriors?
Yeah, no, good question. Thanks, Evan. So it's funny. Before, like, I got the Santa Cruz job, or right before I was about to do my first game, I remember, like, R.C. Davis telling me, who is a great producer for the Warriors, I love this dude. He's been one of my biggest supporters. Like, don't be like one of those guys that just goes crazy all the time. No one like really likes that. And I find myself like just going crazy all the time. It's like, I don't know. There's something in me where like, if people tell me something to do something one way, I just like kind of do it the other way. And like, not out of like trying to disrespect anyone. I don't know. I just got this little anti voice in my head, but like, I'm just generally like excited to watch basketball. And so like the line I would tell people in my head is like, I'm sorry, I love basketball. Like if you don't like my enthusiasm, I don't know. I get up for these games. It's basketball at the highest level. What's there not to love?
So Kev, you're a Stanford guy, right?
Yeah, Stanford guy, but for the big game, go Bears, because I worked sidelines for Cal football for 2 years.
Yeah, this is a Cal show. So
there we go. JKS, baby.
So
you know the story.
Tell me this.
Told the hell damn world this is Bear territory.
You go to Stanford. Wow. At Stanford, man, there you got to have some friends who are like, my God, man.
Yeah, you're going to get killed for this.
Bro, what's happening here?
Yeah. So, like, I'm going to the game today, in family seats, all of them Stanford people. And, yeah, I will be going in neutral clothing. But I'm going to say what's up to Justin Allegri, the great voice of the Bears, hopefully at some point. And, hope for win number 7 of the season.
So you, Fleming, it's becoming like, you're not Syracuse necessarily, but get some broadcasters coming out of the farm these days. But I'm thinking Stanford, shouldn't you be like, I don't know, developing the next AI product out in Silicon Valley? I mean, isn't there that pressure? Like, come on, man, you should have been retired 3 years ago from some startup in tech that you sold out. Like, how'd you get into broadcasting out of Stanford?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was too stupid to be doing any of that tech AI stuff. I don't know. I always wanted to get into broadcasting. I got into Stanford. Probably didn't hurt that I had some family members that went there. If I got in on my own rights or Operation Varsity Blues, who knows? I don't know. When they accepted me, I was like, well, I can't say no. I'm going to do this broadcast thing. Like, Dave Fleming was, just starting with the Giants at the time, so there was, a little bit of a roadmap there. Troy Clarity, whose voice is Stanford's, he was doing his thing. I think he was in Pittsburgh at the time when I was in school. There was, KZSU, that's the community station there. There was, a little bit of a roadmap there, and we had, we covered sports. I worked for the basketball team, and it's like, hey, this is what I'm going to do. I know people are supposed to make $500,000 a year when they're 23 graduating from Stanford, but that wasn't going to be the case with me.
All right, so I got to get you out of here on this, Kev. So correct me if I'm wrong. Was it the Milwaukee and Indiana games?
Yes. I started the losing streak.
Well, they did turn it around temporarily, and then it seems like Tim has caught some L's lately, so it hasn't really mattered. But as someone who saw maybe – I know last night was a bad game. There's no doubt about it. But I still think that the Pacers game was probably the worst loss of the season. We've seen highs, we've seen lows, you've seen it all. Where are you at with the Warriors right now?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've seen for 3 straight years these early season lulls. And I know they started 12-3 last year, but then right after that, it really got rough for a while. I'm tempted to believe that at some point in January, February, or March, they're just gonna they've closed all these last few seasons post winning the title in 2022, and even that season they won the last 5 games. But they're gonna turn it around. But Yeah, that game last night was tough because, they're starting a two-way guy in C.D. Sissoko. Shaden Sharp's not playing. Caleb Love buries you for 25, 26, whatever he scores. And it's like, this is a game that the Warriors have to win. Like in this 5-game homestand, I'm thinking 4-1, and the one loss wasn't to Portland. It was, you hopefully split OKC and Houston. And now you're going to have to make one up somewhere. And you're going to have to make a couple up somewhere because you don't want to be hanging around 500 in the Western Conference for too long.
Yeah, no doubt, Kev. I'm kind of right there with you. Well, I know that this was supposed to be a little more of a drawn-out conversation, and Dan Devona, as typical, ruins everything. But I sincerely thank you for taking some time out of your morning for us.
Thanks, Kev. Thanks for having me. Appreciate jumping on with y'all.
Absolutely. That's the great Kevin Dana, KD. You can catch him, as always, calling Santa Cruz Warriors games. He fills in for the Golden State Warriors, and during the summer, he's the voice of the Golden State Valkyries.
You couldn't recognize his voice?
Well, you didn't really give me much of a chance. It took you 3 seconds.
It's kind of like Name That Tune song.
I'm pretty bad at the quick recognition games, like the Jeopardies or trivia nights. Like I'm not. I need time. I got to sift through things. I got to think through things. I don't just blurt things out because they come to the top of my mind.
Yeah, to me. Well, and by the way, that's so random. Why Kevin Dana? Like, how did this?
Because we always talk, like you guys always talk, especially play-by-play, right? Play-by-play is a big topic, whether it be outside during breaks,
He was
on
like
the air.
The last guy I was thinking. I was like you. You're.
Then how did you get it so quickly?
Because I'm good.
Part of me is a little ticked off, Dan Devone.
I'm special. You should know that by now.
Not in a good way.
Your fiance's name's Adriana.
Fiance's crazy. Adriana?
Adriana.
Adriana.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I thought it might have been her, like you. I thought it was like, oh, he's proposing today. This is it.
Pasta, just promise me if and when you propose.
Do it here.
It's on Warriors This Week.
On Warriors This Week with Dan Devone, telling them that I have a special guest coming on.
Yeah, we're going to roll a fat one for you. All right, so, I'm actually... See, you're lucky. Like I know.
Go ahead, segue. Put this back on the tracks.
No. I know Kev pretty well. You're actually lucky. Because I would have sicked Kev on you about Kevin Harlan.
I destroy both of you.
You don't destroy anybody in this argument. You are on an island, marooned with an
Wouldn't
SOS.
be the first time.
You are you are castaway when it comes to Kevin Harlan. It's you and you alone.
What is it that you like about Kevin Harlan's delivery?
He's just good.
Good is somebody that
he's crisp,
gets
he's
out
clean.
of
He knows
gets
his
out
stuff.
of the way, and it is so much about him. Why don't you think I'm alone? You are on Dan Patrick's show, right? Like, why don't you see? You always see like a lot. Al Michaels. You give me any of the top broadcasters right now, and they make the tour of. Whether it's Rich Eisen, Dan Patrick, all the legends will have them on frequently.
Well, Al Michaels is Al Horford right now.
No, but my point is that there's a level of respect. Dan Patrick will never have, he has, but it's infrequent, someone like that of Kevin Harlan, because Dan Patrick and I are like this. We're on the same level.
Yeah,
He's
because
like,
he can talk to the Dalai Lama. What does it need to talk to Kevin Harlan
No,
for?
but he likes to bring on broadcasters, but he brings on guys that you know he respects and that he enjoys talking to. That aside, it's too much about him. I'm telling you, it's too much about his cadence, and it's too much about my catchphrases. Once there was a guy who ran onto a field and was chased by the police.
The guy was drunk.
Was that?
That was Kevin Harlan.
That was the call?
The guy was drunk.
Is that what that's? Yeah, and he had to go through his whole...
He's bare-chested.
The guy is drunk.
Beating his chest. He's at the 50. He's at the 40.
Oh, okay.
Like, that's pretty good.
Nah, that's too sticky. It's too much about you, bro. It's like...
Well, who else? How are you going to talk about a guy streaking on the field in the middle of a play?
Well, they usually don't recognize
on
those
radio.
things, man. You just say, yeah, there's a disturbance. You're like, it's just... I guess it's different strokes, different folks. It's just not for me, man.
They should recognize those folks, and they should have the camera on them. I don't care if it...
I'm with you there.
They absolutely should show everything.
Yeah,
actually,
I'm
if the
not
person
so
is
sure
naked, then
about
no.
that.
Would they do that on a 49er broadcast?
No.
Evan?
But they do... No. But wait, so have you ever seen... Have you ever
What do you think
been...
of those 49er radio broadcasts?
Simmer. Well, they're not on our station, so I can't really comment on them.
I'm just curious.
That's how
Whether they would cover that or
That's
not.
how I'm going to duck that. But Have you ever been at a game where there's been a streaker or someone who's drunk and on the field?
Yeah, I have.
Did you enjoy it?
I was at, you shouldn't have gone down this road. Time for gather round. It's time for Uncle Danny's storytelling.
I figured you'd have something for this.
Yay! I went to a Riddick Bowe Evander Holyfield boxing match for the championship, Caesars. And this is when they would have boxing matches at Caesars Palace outside. I don't know if any. I used to be one of those that would go to Vegas back in the day. And so this was past the pool outside where they had an outside arena, okay, televised by HBO. And I was actually, I believe I was credentialed for this thing. It was the strangest sporting event I've ever been to my entire life.
Was this when you were dating the stripper?
No, not cricket.
Okay.
So I'm sitting there and I'm watching the fight, and these two are trading blows, man. But I was there with a buddy, and it's outside, and I'm like, hey, man, that hang glider up there, whatever that thing is, dude's like getting close. My buddy's like, what? He's like, look at this fight. This is crazy. Bo's just got him buckled. He's like, he's got him on the ropes. And I'm like, yeah, and I'm into it as well. But I was keeping out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, this dude's getting awfully close. We get to like the 7th round, and this guy beelines it for the ring while Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield are trading blows. And you can imagine all the Gucci row and all the money that's right around the ring. And this guy gets caught on the turnbuckle, right? And so this huge, this propeller that he had, whatever it was, this huge mask, it goes like all over the people in the front row, and he gets caught up in the ring. He tried to fly into the ring. There's absolute chaos. Absolute chaos. So he went into Evander Holyfield's corner. Evander Holyfield's corner, they don't know what to do. They start beating the guy. They just start wailing on the guy. People in the stands are like started running for the exits, thought it was the end of the world. Meanwhile, Evander Holyfield and Riddick Bowe are staring at one another. There was word that in Caesar's Palace, there was absolute chaos, that people were just, stealing chips, and like it was Armageddon for about a good 20 minutes there. It's like, how in the world am I actually even witnessing that? So, yes, I have seen these sort of disturbances in the middle of a sporting event.
Well, it seems to me like if there was one event in sports
you have no comment on that?
Wouldn't want to disrupt, it would be boxing. Yeah. I mean,
he was Fan Man. That's actually an interesting documentary that you would really appreciate.
Fan Man.
Yes. He would do this, and he was really sort of a fascinating guy, but look it up. His name was Fan Man.
Okay. Well, I just know that oftentimes, because I've seen it happen, it's happened at a Niners game that I've been to. It's happened at the Coliseum multiple times, at a Raiders game and at A's games. And each time, the individual gets absolutely buried.
Yes.
Like, that's the one... That's the one time where there is no sexism involved. Like, if you are a man or a woman, you are getting dropped like LaRonda McClain suplexed Darren Sproles in 2008 at shortstop. You are getting dropped down. And it just seems wild to me.
Well,
but why would you want to drop in the middle of Evander Holyfield?
Yeah.
Like, those guys, I guess it's security too, but you are going to get beaten to a pulp, especially in Las Vegas. Although I got to say, if you were going to go in a certain way, like, because what's it in have you seen the movie Fever Pitch? When Drew Barrymore drops into Fenway Stadium?
Yeah, with Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
That's where Jimmy Fallon met his wife. She's from Marin, by the way.
In the movie?
No, well, so the
Drew Barrymore and Jimmy Fallon in the movie Fever Pitch.
Yeah, so Drew Barrymore's production partner, they started their own studio, is this woman who is a local. She's from Marin. And so those two, I know this because they met in a restaurant in Seattle, Washington. And so that was their first movie from their production company. And so through Drew Barrymore, Jimmy Fallon married her production partner. They have these, I don't know the name of their company.
Okay. Gotcha.
The two of them started this production company.
Flower Films.
Interesting. So in the movie, though, in that final scene where I think it's Drew Barrymore drops down to sprint across, she sidesteps Johnny Damon or something to get to Jimmy Fallon. The whole time I'm just thinking, this is the most ridiculous thing ever. She would be absolutely pummeled if she did this in real life, which is what happens to most fans. But if you're going to go in a certain way, if you're going to really do the whole, Oscar award-winning entrance, sounds like a hang glider is the way to go.
A man with a motorized paraglider known as Fan Man crashed into the ring ropes during the 7th round of the second Holyfield Bow fight, causing a 20-minute delay. He was not a fighter, but a fan named James Miller. Look up James Miller. He flew into the outdoor arena in Las Vegas, interrupting the boxing match. It was, I'm telling you.
So you saw that live?
Yeah, I was there.
It was Dan Devone that flew into the arena?
I didn't fly into the arena.
You're Fan Man?
No, I'm not Fan Man, but I was there, man. And it was some crazy stuff.
And then they made a documentary about this guy.
About this guy, yeah.
Was this the first or last time that he did this?
No, it was, he tried to do it. I think he was shot down somewhere else. No, he tried to do it somewhere else.
Well, you're describing him like he's a paratrooper on D-Day.
He was.
Just kidding.
But he was an interesting guy. I want to say, and I don't know his backstory, and I know that he had some terminal illness that maybe was he had at the time, but I know that there was something, actually his backstory is really sort of fascinating. Anyways.
No, the best, I don't know if it's sports documentary, but would you consider tightrope walking an athletic?
Just like bowling and chess, no.
Well, you have to be more of an athlete to walk across a tightrope than to play chess. It demands more athletic ability than golf.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry, I cut you off. Are they athletes? Certainly. You're going to ask me if it was a sport.
No, but I'm saying the documentary, Man on Wire. The best documentary.
Back in the day when these people used to do it on high rises in New York City?
Yes, the guy who did it across the Twin Towers.
Oh, wow.
It's unbelievable. And it's as much of a heist documentary because he has to break into the place in order to even set up the tightrope as it is about him and his process of basically training to tightrope walk the Twin Towers. And the footage is ridiculous. I don't know how they got a camera crew up there to film this whole thing, but the guy talks about this mental process of taming the rope. As you're preparing for it, you obviously, that's what you do. But the moment you're out there with no gear, you fall, you die, you have to mentally, I don't know if it's be one with the rope, but the process of doing that is he goes and lays down in the middle of this rope. And I believe he's a French tightrope walker.
Yes. Why does that ring a bell?
I forget his name, but
Philippe Petit.
Yes, this guy's a legend. It is probably the best documentary. Well, maybe not the best. I'm hyperbole, but one of the best documentaries I've seen. So I'll watch. Was it Landman? Fan Man. Yeah. I'll watch Fan Man if you watch Man on Wire.
That sounds fascinating. I would really enjoy that. It's sort of like these people that scale mountains, like Mount Everest, with no support. Some people have, they're tied to the rock, or they have something that they're tied to just in case they slip.
Well, what's it called? Is it the Alpinist or Alpinist? That is also a great documentary too. It's about this Canadian kid who all he wants to do is scale the tallest, toughest mountains in the world. And it took a crew to go find him in the first place because he has no interest in being filmed. It's purely all for self-discovery and enjoyment. He's on the spectrum, but that's just how he operates. Wow. He just goes to different places around the world and scales these mountains, and that's how he feels alive. All right. We got a half hour left here. We're going to find something to talk about on the other side, I promise. This is Warriors This Week.
Is it?
With Evan Giddings and Dan Devone.
Where's Al Horford when you need him?
I blame Pasta. We'll be back after this.
Black Friday weekend is here. Once a year, you get the lowest prices on the top-rated brands of TV. Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs at stupid prices. You don't have to buy a no-name doorbuster TV with poor picture when you can get a good one for a few dollars more. Where's the best place to shop for these top brands? At Video Only, the only place where you can get better than Black Friday deals on Samsung, LG, and Sony. Better than clubs, better than online. Before you buy, check out the deals at Video Only, because if you don't, you'll be sorry.
Comcast Business is celebrating the holidays by giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed internet package. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 12, a new laptop for the office holiday hero. Or possibility number 108, smart speakers to deck those hallways. Or possibility number 192, new equipment for the new year. Or possibility number 555, Bluetooth holiday lights for office decor. Switch to Comcast Business, designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect, plus advanced cybersecurity, and now get the $1,000 holiday bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 12/14/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Requires qualifying gig package. Other restrictions apply.
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in the Bay Area. And our more than 110 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Are you interested in being an install or service technician? Good news! R&S Doors and Gates is hiring. If you have good mechanical skills and a knowledge of power tools, welding, and motor controls, you should apply today. R&S Doors has openings to repair and install commercial overhead doors, entry doors, and loading dock equipment. You must be able to work in a professional, fast-paced environment. Call 800-FIX-A-DOOR and apply today. That's 800-FIX-A-DOOR or visit rsdoors.com. R&S Doors. Look for the red truck.
The Golden State Warriors are back, and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your Warriors. Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside, proud partner of the Golden State Warriors. Sold in arena and at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Mama Bear, I hear our old Fast Track tag won't be saving us money on bridge tolls anymore.
That's because bridge carpool rules are changing on January 1st. But don't worry, Papa Bear. I got a new Fast Track Flex tag. Huh? See?
Mama, what are the numbers for?
Well, Baby Bear, that tells the system how many people are in the car, so we can get a discount when there are 3 or more of us. We are 3 bears, and we're setting our tag to 3+. So it's just right.
So now we'll keep saving money on tolls?
Mm-hmm. You bet your cushy driver's seat, Papa.
That'll make up for this cold takeout porridge. Yeah.
My breakfast burrito is just right.
Starting January 1st, 3 or more people are required for carpool discounts on all bridges. A Fast Track Flex toll tag set to 3+ is required for discounts on all bridges except the Bay Bridge and the Golden Gate. Visit getfasttrack.org for details.
Hey, it's Willard, and I'm just going to say it. We need your help. Right now, 1 in 3 people in the Bay Area don't know where their next meal is coming from. Parents skipping dinner so their kids can eat. Seniors choosing between medicine and groceries. In a place this strong, this connected, that shouldn't happen. It can't happen. That's why our friends at Habas Law are teaming up with Martha's Kitchen. Martha's Kitchen provides more than 200,000 meals every month to our neighbors in need. So let's do what the Bay Area does best. Let's show up together. Visit marthas-kitchen.org and donate today. Habas Law, always fighting to make it right.
We are mercy on a mission. Together we bring hope and healing.
Millions live with treatable conditions, but no access to surgery. Mercy Ships changes that. For 50 years, our hospital ships have brought free, life-changing surgeries, restoring health, dignity, and hope. Learn more at mercyships.org.
Here we go.
Count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
This is incredible.
Watch your local NFL game live all season long.
And he's in for a touchdown.
Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
Check the back seat. Check the back seat.
Gets in your head, right? Good, because every year dozens of children are forgotten in the back seat. Cars get hot fast and can be deadly, so get it in your head. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Now back to Warriors This Week on 95.7 The Game.
Oh, excuse me. All right. Something to clean up before we get back to the phone lines, Dan. Again, Evan Giddings, Dan Devone, Warriors This Week. From the 510 on the Boxer and Gerson Work Injury Attorneys text line. My favorite area code, by the way. During the 1979 Cal-USC football game at California Memorial Stadium, a hang glider pilot landed on the 10-yard line, stunning the 76,000 spectators in attendance. Details of the incident. The hang glider pilot, his name was Tom Cardos, who took off from a ridge in Strawberry Canyon about a mile away from the stadium. Did not know that. You think we're going to have one of the big games today?
No, I do not.
It's at
I don't think
Stanford.
you can. I want to say because post 9/11, all that sort of space is well sort of monitored, and I don't think you could have some sort of a flying contraption in that, unless you want to, get gunned down.
Also, well, the big game usually does sell out. It's pretty good. I unfortunately can't go today because I have to do a broadcast later.
Who's favored? Oh, well, Stanford sucks. So.
Well, they're both not that good.
No, Cal's much
Cal
better.
should be favored.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's on the road.
Is Cal going to a bowl?
That's a good question.
They got to win today.
Yeah, I actually think...
they still stuck on 5 wins?
No, they're 6-4. Boom, baby. 9th in the ACC. JKS taking them to the Kraft Mac and Cheese Bowl.
Is Saga coming back?
So I got a source.
Oh, wow. Joe Starkey.
No, it's
we're
not
not playing
Joe
mystery
Starkey.
guess anymore?
No, it's not Joe Starkey.
Stop. You ruined that already.
Yeah, you ruined our mystery guest bit. Pasta put in so much effort and work. This guy was up all night trying to find us somebody that we wouldn't know that had a kind of that voice that was a bit ambiguous, and you just nailed it on the first try. It's not even fun. We ended up talking to him about broadcasting, for God's sakes.
That was painful.
No, Jaron Kayave Sangapolotele. I've heard from we'll just say, sizable alum in terms of pockets. They're cooking up something to bring JKS back. Now, I don't know if they have the oil money that a lot of these SEC schools do, but the number that I've heard, it's up there. That's all I'll say.
How about Peyton Manning's? Well, it's not Peyton Manning's. It's his nephew, so it's Cooper's kid.
Arch Manning, yeah.
I mean, I haven't followed Texas all that closely, but all the millions of... I want to say that he's number one in NIL money, or at least close to it.
I thought it was Mensa.
Well, one of those two, but he's not very good, is he?
Well,
is he playing better?
I think the hype he hasn't lived up to. Actually, someone was telling me about his numbers. I think it was as of last week. Was a lot better than I thought based on what I've heard about him. I mean, God, the guy's been playing like he plays for Missouri State or something. You'd think the way that people talk about him, but that Texas team is pretty good. They got a good defense. He ain't JKS though. I'll tell you that.
Come on, JKS, stick around, buddy. Plate lunch for life. Whatever it is that you need. Come on, man. Do the right thing.
He's going to need a lot more than plate lunches.
Don't be Mancuso.
All right. Who's that?
I don't know. Who's the quarterback in Indiana?
Oh, Mendoza?
Yeah.
Well, that guy's going to be a Heisman candidate.
But so what, man?
It's unbelievable.
Be loyal. Come on, stick around. Be
2 years ago, if you had told me that guy was going to be the quarterback of an undefeated team headed for a potential national championship game, I would have told you are crazy.
Right.
All right. Let's get out to the phone lines and bring on our guy, Mitch.
Oh, I was going to guess if it was Mitch.
Mitch in New Jersey. What's up, Mitchie? What do you want to talk about today?
Oh, shit, I could talk about a lot, but I guess I got to keep it with Golden State Warriors, right? Happy holidays.
Back at you.
You know my outlandish takes. I think we got to we're like middle of the pack, so I wouldn't mind Anthony Davis signing if you don't have to give it much, but I would love to trade Butler. I'm just not a fan of Butler's game, his attitude. And let's play the Utes. Call a little line from my cousin Vinny. Anyway, you have a nice day and have a nice holiday.
Wait. So, Mitch, hold on. Let's go back to my cousin Vinny. Let me give you the line right back. So, what's a Ute? Remember?
I remember.
You know who the judge? You know who the judge was?
Fred Gwynn.
Fred Gwynn from the Munsters.
Mr. Herman Munster. Right.
Good knowledge, buddy.
The Dodgers should have signed him back then.
The Dodgers?
I know.
What about
just because you're 6'5" doesn't mean you're an athlete.
Who? Oh, so Fred Gwynn got to try out with the Dodgers?
No, I'm just assuming because he's 6'5". And of course yes.
All right, Mitch. You should have gone. You should have gone out on top. All right, Mitch.
Mitch in New Jersey. We'll talk to you next week, buddy. Oh,
do you want to be on
Mitchie.
top? Oh man,
dude, you. I don't think you realize what exits your yap.
This is pasta with all these sexual references that I don't know, man.
I'm sorry. Is that pasta speaking or is that Dan Devone?
Yeah, but it had nothing to do with what it is that your trashy mind's going to.
I'm salivating. See, there's sometimes.
Oh my God,
I'm salivating. There are. Your mind is in the gutter. Sometimes when you speak, like since during the week I'm behind the board, my mind thinks in drops.
That's funny.
Like anytime I hear something, I just think about a drop.
Mine thinks in drops.
Or the way that you phrase something means that it could be a drop.
Hey, can we get back to load management?
Oh, yes. Okay, here's a cut. I know you wanted one.
Oh, no, that's not why.
Ramona Shelburne, ESPN
Where's
wants
the
to talk
tour?
about
Let
the
me get on the
regular season
95-70
issues
tour.
related to the style of play.
Most of the people I talk to about this issue, they say it's really just about the style of the game right now. Guys are just running so much more. It's so much. You can find all kinds of data on this. The amount of wear and tear that players are putting on their body now. It's not just from coming up from their youth days and college and AAU and all that. It's in game. Like in game, the way they play now is just a lot more taxing on the body. And, I don't know how you change that. I mean, I still think you got to come back to some sort of shortening of the season, et cetera. But that's not how the TV contracts are written, and that's not how the player contracts are written. No one wants to give back money by not playing as many games. But somehow, I think we got to end up there.
That's Momo.
She's spot on. And it's this conundrum, Ev. Like, what do? You can't have a sport where over 50% of your stars, every single team now, is missing somebody, and 50% of your stars are out. And this isn't just sort of an outlier. This is sort of the NBA as we know it now. And she's right. The game is so fast and so sped up right now. And the whole thinking is, theoretically, is like, well, let's run before the defense can set up. And while that makes sense, look at the Indiana Pacers. The Indiana Pacers, now you have a lot of teams because it's such a homogenous copycat league, right? Mm-hmm. Like the Pacers ran more than anybody last year. But look at the Pacers this year. They got 3 guys out with torn Achilles. Like, there's a price to be paid to play at this tempo. And so, as a result, not only are you missing stars, but also it's part of the reason why you have load management. And getting back to the Golden State Warriors, to bring it back home to Warriors this week, here's Steph Curry for the second straight year not playing in Miami. And I get it, but I don't get it at the same time. That's a major market. And then Steve Kerr, who we all love, he's a bit complicit here because he knows damn well that none of those guys are playing, but he didn't say as much in his pregame press conference. He's like, yeah, we're not sure. I'm not going to release that information yet. And here's the other thing is I hope to God that they don't have that. They used to do those tier pricing. Remember, like you would pay a certain amount to watch Utah play, but you would pay an even higher amount to see, say, the Lakers come to town. Like it wasn't equivalent. You would pay more.
It's the same thing here at Chase Center.
If you're doing that to Miami Heat fans for the Golden State Warriors, you're ripping them off. Like that's a ripoff. Like I want a rebate if that's what you're doing.
Well, that's what was frustrating. I think it was the day after. Someone either texted or called into the show and said, it's BS. They bought those tickets because it's the only time they go to Miami. So a Warriors fan living in Florida bought those tickets, I think preseason, for him and his family to go watch the Warriors. And not only did he not get to see Steph, he didn't get to see Jimmy. He didn't get to see Draymond. Now, Kaminga had a legitimate injury, and I'm not sure he wanted to see Horford. But it's like you get, instead of Steph, Jimmy, and Draymond, Pat Spencer, Trace Jackson-Davis, and Buddy Hield. And it's like, that is where I feel like you're getting cheated. I mean, we're fortunate that we can go to a lot of these games if we need to, and we've seen stars and all the rest. We've followed these guys for their whole careers. But a lot of people don't get to do that. And one of the beauties of the Warriors and their number one valuation across the NBA is you have a ton of fans. That's the reason why they're as big as they are, is because the Warriors are of interest nationally. Well, that also means I feel like, and she's right that it's not going to change, and I'm not really sure how you do it, but to me, there is a responsibility to being the number one brand in basketball. Whether it's the Lakers, the Knicks, now the Warriors over some time have kind of grown into that team. You do have a responsibility to show up each and every night for people who only get to see you one time. Even a couple guys, like there was a guy last night at the game who is a big fan of the station, and he penciled that Portland game because it was affordable. The Blazers aren't one of those teams that cost you a pretty penny, even though you do have to pay a lot at Chase Center. So he goes with his girlfriend, and I'm talking to him after the game, and it's all sad, Warriors lost, yada yada, and he goes, "Man, I just feel lucky because that last game at home, I don't think Curry was going to play because he had the illness, and he wasn't sure Butler was going to play because he had the back issue, and that is always in the back of people's minds. And to me, that's a problem. When you have people thinking about who isn't going to play, you have people more concerned about the injury report than the actual performance on the floor. And that, to me, is what the NBA is most associated with right now. It's guys missing games. It's not Curry versus Jokic. It's not Giannis versus LeBron. It's, well, maybe Bron's going to play, and maybe Giannis is going to be out there, but we can't depend on it. And if I was a normal fan, an average fan, that would deter me not from watching, but definitely from going to a game.
I'm with you. I think they have a responsibility, especially when you're on the road and you're playing in somewhere like that in New York, Miami, where have you, that from a marketing standpoint, because Steph is Steph, you got to play. You have to, for the sake of the sport, you got to take one for the team, so to speak. And I'll take it a step further. I mentioned I like Rick Barry and I like Charles Barkley, and I like the fact that these guys just speak their mind, but they don't do the league any favors. When Charles Barkley is telling you that the league sucks, that I used to play through pain, this load management is what's hurting the league, and he has that platform and he's doing it show after show, him and Shaq and company, and it's a big shtick. Let's not forget, at the end of the day, they work for the NBA. And those television platforms are an extension of a lot of money that the NBA pays for those rights, or the other way around. But it's the NBA that, at the end of the day, they work for. And I would blow in the air, and if you'd say, well, listen, it's Charles Barkley. Come on, man. You can't limit him. Do you see people in the NFL in similar positions that are doing studio shows during the course of a game talk about CTE or talk about everything that's wrong with the NFL? I would rein them in as well. And the reason is because I think we've gotten to a point, this is a serious problem. They're either hurt or they're being load managed, and it's the way the game's being played. And none of those three are going to change anytime soon.
But I think for the NFL, and also loop in Major League Baseball with this too, a lot of the older guard, their issue is not with the availability of stars. It's with the style of play. Or it's with the game itself. The issue with the NBA, I mean, some people might not like how fast it's played or how many threes are taken and all the rest. But I think the biggest issue that people have is the availability of players. It's when I turn on the television, I don't know who I'm going to see play. And that's a problem. because that's really why I think a lot of people struggle to track a sport that they're just getting into. One of the I like hockey, but when I was getting into it, it was really hard for me to track it first because of the line changes. Okay, just imagine that there's a line change every game. Like, you don't know who's going to be out there. And I'm not saying the Warriors are going to sit all 3 guys every single night, but load management to me is, it's almost built into the sport. And now I understand why.
Yeah, but how do you fix it?
I mean, well, you're not going to, because greed is going to stand in your path. I mean, the money has to continue to go up. Valuations have to go up. TV contracts have to go up.
Nobody's shortening a season.
No, I think the only way to do it would be to maybe shorten a game. Have them play 40 minutes like college instead of 48. But even that would be going backwards, I think. It should be, but it won't. And I don't know if there's any way to sort of, like, maybe like a possession has to take a certain amount of time. You remember middle school, like all 5 guys have to touch the ball before you shoot. Maybe that's a way to kind of slow the game down, because to a lot of the medical points, it's not that the game is faster than it's ever been. The pace per 100 possessions is faster than it's been since 1999, but it was 127 possessions. Their pace was at 127.7, where right now it's at 100. So it was way faster in 1960 and 1961. There were so many possessions. But the guys were not as athletic. There wasn't as much wear and tear on their bodies because they were just physically smaller. Now, the human body is not made to play as fast as these players do, to run the amount of miles that they do, and play in a condensed amount of time the amount of games that they play.
Not to mention, go watch games from the 70s or the 80s. If you're playing defense, you're just sort of they throw the ball under the post. The ball goes into Patrick Ewing. You double the post. They pass out of the post, and everybody's just sagging in the middle, right? And that's the way the game was played. And they go ISO, and then you have like 8 guys just with their hands on their hips just watching 2 guys go at it. The game today is so extended that when Steph crosses half court, you got to pick him up. Why? Because he's at the logo. He's in his range. And that's true for just about every basketball team now. You've got to pick up 90 feet from the hoop. And everybody's extending. Everybody is like, there is so much more requirements physically to play the game of basketball than ever before. And as a result, because players can cross over and shoot and step back threes, you can blame it on Steph or whomever. As a result, defenders now have to come out and meet you. And so the game is played so far from the hoop, and it requires so much wear and tear and stress on those quote-unquote lower extremities, which is why you see guys pop tires like every other day.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just players that are older. Like, actually, I was talking about it last night after the Portland loss, but one of the things that's concerning to me, Dan, about the Warriors is that they've been pretty healthy. Like, they only have one guy right now who's missed multiple games. Well, Curry did, but it was because of an illness. Like, they've had one injury so far that has cost them multiple games to a player in their top, let's say, 9 or 10. That's Kaminga. Curry hasn't been hurt. Jimmy hasn't been hurt. Draymond hasn't been hurt. And that's probably eventually going to happen.
No, bro, what are you doing, man?
I'm just saying, like...
That is the kiss of death. All 3 of those guys are going to be pulling Achilles heels in the next game against Utah.
But Jimmy Butler plays an average of 60 games a year. Like, that's just what happens. Whether he load manages himself or the team load manages him, he doesn't play on average 75 games a year. And Wemby got a calf strain. Giannis has a groin injury. I mean, you just go down the list. LeBron is just getting back from sciatica. That's an old man injury, so a little bit different.
LeBron line, but keep going.
You got sciatica?
No, but LeBron James, so he came back and the team's played well. He had 12 assists. And you hear what he said afterwards? He's like, I can play with anybody. I can play with anybody. Really, LeBron? You, of all people, can play with anybody? You've traded more dudes. There's a graveyard of people that you've traded going back to your days with Cleveland, with the Los Angeles Lakers. You don't play with anybody. You play with people you want to play with.
Well, he can play with anybody.
No,
he just gets over them after 6 months.
I'll play with anybody. Bro, this is the LeBron James love-hate that I have with this man and probably a lot of other people. He's so amazing. And him coming back, I'm like, yeah, go LeBron. But then he just has to like ruin it with that. I'll play with anybody. No, bro. You traded away everyone.
Well, he himself might get traded this February.
You want to take a last call and guess who it is?
Oh, yeah. Guess who it is? Well, I don't know who it is. Actually, I do know who it is. It's Ryan, who's in St. Louis. Ryan, you're our final caller. What's up, man? How we doing?
What's up, man? Hey, shout out to the Dreamville hoodie, though. I see you, my guy. It's fire. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it, Ryan.
Salute. For sure, man. Hey, good seeing you guys again. I talked to you guys maybe earlier this year, man, once before, but good to see you guys. I wanted to mention about the pace of play, though, that y'all haven't made reference to. What is such a big issue of the Warriors getting a 5 who could demand some type of post presence at all? Because I know you talked about how the game has been stretched out, named for his feet. They guard him step by time he comes past the half court. There's nothing wrong with getting a post player periodically. Not saying you have to switch the whole dynamic of the offense around to this guy, but we no longer talk about throwing the ball in the post cause fouls. It caused the game to slow down a little bit where the other guys that we see, like the center who played against last night, who tore us up, they don't have to play on the other side against the Warriors. They don't. They don't have to play, like, they're not guarding anybody at the 4 and the 5 position, so they never get into foul trouble. Physically, they never have to do anything but just to kind of watch and observe. And throughout this season, we got to have somebody to slow the game down, get the free throws. That's why it was so good last year. Jimmy Butler slowed the pace of play down and the turnovers down. See, we love this fast-paced offense when things are looking good and the ball is going in. But then when those baskets don't go in and the turnovers go from being 12 turnovers a game to 17, 18, 20 turnovers a game, it doesn't look as pretty. And you don't have that old-school firepower that you once had. That's why I always keep asking people, what's the issue with bringing in a 5-man that can do something around the rim, that can cause the game to slow down and put these other guys in foul trouble so you can slow the pace of play down? It's not mandatory that you go out here and shoot threes every game.
Yeah.
It's not mandatory. Nobody's forcing you to do these things.
You know what? I think he just
Thanks, Ryan.
He made me think of something.
Sorry, we're kind of up against it, but I appreciate it.
But I think, like, you know, if sports are cyclical, that's what, and we're seeing the big man come back, maybe that's what's going to happen. We're going to go back to basketball in the post as a result of all of these guys getting injured because of the pace of play and because it's so sped up that maybe things are just going to get slowed down the way they were in the 80s.
Well, and I would say to Ryan, why they haven't done that is I think they swung big once, they missed with Wiseman, and I kind of feel like that's just turned them off of the idea of it. I don't know why. I mean, I agree. Like, having someone who can rim run and be a presence. Like, Donovan Clingan's a good player. I think he would help the Warriors right now. But they haven't been able to find one of those guys, and they haven't really looked to identify them. Maybe that's what they identified at the deadline. I'm not sure. But
Kevin Dana. Oh, sorry.
Oh, is he on the line?
No, it's Tourette's. I'm sorry. Kevin Dana.
On that note, Dan.
Get out of here.
What do you got going tonight? The Galloping Gales. Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Moraga.
You love the Galloping Gales. No, St. Mary's is taking on UC Merced.
Oh, nice.
So they play at 7:30, so I'll have the call of that on ESPN+.
Sweet.
Yep. Looking
Boston, what do you got? What do you and Adrian?
Gonna go see Now You See Me, Now You Don't.
Oh, do you want to tell the people why she left you hanging last week?
Wait, Now You See Me, Now You Don't. That's
the Magician movie.
Oh, all right. I'm out.
I'm blanking.
No. So you were supposed to see this movie last weekend, right?
Yes.
So this guy crammed. This is the third one. This guy crammed.
Are we doing another hour?
No, I just want to say real fast. This guy crammed 2 movies into one night. Had never seen them before. Doesn't like movies. Doesn't watch them. Crammed 2 movies into one night to watch it the next day. Then his girl said, "Actually, I can't."
Because this next one is the third movie. So I had to watch the first 2, and I watched it quickly the day before, and then the next day we didn't end up going to see it.
That's love, man.
You lost 4 hours of sleep.
Hey, in all seriousness, would you get married in the city? Because I won't leave the city if you're going to do it in like wherever you hang out. Like, you know.
Yeah, you're invited, Dan.
Awesome, man.
Evan, you're invited too.
I am going to be so liquored at that open bar that I'm going to embarrass you and Evan and everybody else that's affiliated with my name.
Kevin Dan is invited too.
I'll go shot for shot with you. And we'll go shot for shot next week right here, same time, same place, 9 to noon. Warriors this week, 95-7 the game.
Hey, folks, this is it. The best weekend of the year for buying a TV. Forget inflation, because now you've got deflation with Black Friday pricing on top-rated brands like Samsung, LG, and Sony. Where's the best place to shop? It's not the clubs or online. Join the smart shoppers heading for video only, because they've got better than Black Friday deals. That's right, better. Don't believe it? Then bring your prices to video only and compare before you buy. Or you'll be sorry. At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In Mountain View, San Mateo, Union City, Dublin, and San Rafael. Video Only.
Want to hear something super? Merit America wants to get you on a path to a super new, high-paying career with free training and coaching. And it starts by working at events leading up to the super big game. Go to meritamerica.org/super and see how you can sign up for super career training in HR, logistics, data analysis, and much more for free. But time is running out. Apply by November 24th. Don't miss this super opportunity. So go to meritamerica.org/super. Super fast.
Tune in to 95.7 The Game for Warriors Live, 60 minutes before tip-off. Every Warriors game throughout the season as we get ready for the action. Presented by Xfinity, your home court advantage. Brought to you by Xfinity. Watch all your favorite teams all in one place. Xfinity, imagine that.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Red and Gold Game Day starts at Laughing Monk Brewing. Park for free. Enjoy amazing food, ice-cold beer, and every game on TV. Catch 95.7 The Game's pregame show. Then hop on the free shuttle straight to the stadium. Sign up now at 957thegame.com. You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ-FM in HD1 San Francisco, on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union.
Baseball games there, but it's good to see we've gotten back-to-back college football games, and they've been good games. Actual good games there at Wrigley Field. So, I mean, the whole setup's a little wonky, and it still looks strange, but it's good to see that place get a little bit of love this late in the year, because it normally doesn't during baseball season. I'm just pointing that out. All right. With that being said, we opened up the show talking about just the unrealistic thought from a team in the NFL. All right. And the reason that there's an unrealistic thought from this team in the NFL is because they haven't earned the benefit of the doubt. You've got to earn that. All right. We as media, we as fans, you've got to earn some trust. The Cincinnati Bengals have not earned any trust at all. Because the Bengals announced earlier that Joe Burrow's not going to be back in action coming up tomorrow against the Patriots, that the plan is the Bengals are going to wait and then they're going to roll him out there on Thanksgiving, and he's going to be, it's okay, oh, that's awesome, man. Joe Burrow's going to be back on Thanksgiving. That was a timeline they said when he went down with the injury for starters, and then, Joe Flacco's come in. I don't know if anybody's noticed. He's played pretty well. But my whole issue with this is